This is my voice. Oh God. Turn that down.
You can hear me too. My bad. So yeah, we are checking out Heat Wave here, which is the chapter with Gus and the donkey ride. This has been worked on by Dez, one of our senior level design developers, and yeah, so. Um, all kinds of like extra bits and bobbles and
Yeah, because you couldn't even access this cabin in the leak, right? It was just completely blocked off, if I remember correctly.
so. No, unfortunately, oh, let's see if I can get it before it does it. Cool. Oh. Yeah, it still spawns. For some reason, this egg sac spawns this invulnerable snatcher, but he also can't do anything to me. So yeah,
That's just a friend.
yeah, just a friend. um. So yeah, still working on what exactly is going to get fleshed out here, but it's just kind of neat to have all this accessible and
Mm-hmm.
populated with stuff. You can even kind of, oh, come on, I did it earlier. That's why. You can even kind of get up here, so there's all kinds of potential for a little ammunition or a little secret up here or something like that too. Just fun little stuff like that.
Yeah, fleshes out the world, kind of tells a little bit of a story about what happened here.
So if we continue down this way, you end up coming to an EDF roadblock.
Die, you rat bastard.
All kinds of...
I saw some people saying that it doesn't make sense the way the evacuation doesn't work in DNF, but like
It took me
in my
out.
head, oh jeez. In my head, it just like it's very easy to reason away. It's like, oh, the EDF is controlling all the major evacuation points. Like, it's pretty easy to rationalize, right? It's like,
Yeah, right. I mean, like they were already, deployed or would be deployed in that kind of manner normally. If
hmm,
something like, if this was happening and they were the good guys still, this would still, be happening. So
exactly, yeah.
it's just now that they're preventing people and taking them out. You know,
Hmm.
a bunch of these little tentacle guys.
Hello.
You get this fun guy too.
Oh, there's the boy himself. I hope someone makes a mod for a finished product where instead of riding the donkey, you ride one of those.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, like a late game thing. Just charging some EDF like checkpoint or something in a Tesla Raptor.
It's so good. Power armor is for pussies.
Oh God.
Sorry, it needs to be done.
A little donkey.
You're my boy, Blue. Hey, has the right textures this time.
Stings.
No, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and help myself out a little bit because it gets a little rough otherwise. But yeah, added all kinds of neat little stuff to go along this path and some enemies and stuff like that as well.
Hmm. Curious, is the team thinking about like designing DNF in a way where like theoretically you could do like pistol start some maps, or is it like designed to
Yes.
be a continue? Okay, cool, interesting.
Yeah. That's actually yeah. We early on decided that we really wanted to make sure that you could still. Oh, I can kick on the donkey.
Well,
we decided
Mighty
really early
boots.
on that we wanted to make sure that you could pistol start, and so most of what we've been fleshing out right now is chapter 1. This stuff here is just really early on work onto this chapter, but um, we really want to ensure that I guess I can show off study. We don't have an actual. We have a video. We have some other videos prepared of some of our chapter 1 maps, but I guess I can show off a little bit of that to kind of show you what I mean. Where we want to like make sure that. Whoop. I was talking with my hands. We want to make sure that you can pick up the extra weapons that you would normally be picking up at that point, or maybe even find some extra weapons in some of the levels by just exploring. So it encourages you to be able to still pistol start, but then also still get access to the things you need to
The
complete
bare
some of the-
necessities.
Yeah.
yeah.
Whew. These are snipers sometimes.
Fuck, I think I broke this. Really pisses me off.
Where are you shooting at me from?
I'm not looking good.
And some of the level of detail stuff, like the stuff out in the distance, is breaking.
Oh, uh-oh. I was going without you.
Hey,
Oh, I don't even know where I was getting taken out at from. And the game
Jeez.
crashed.
Also, hello.
anyways, what's new? Anything new in the community?
I
Lots
mean,
of stuff from what we're seeing so far.
yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm booting the game back up right now.
Wasn't the restoration team like making a live stream for their latest build or something?
It's not for the latest build. Basically, I'm just showing off a couple of things here, and then I'm also going to be showing off some work at Duquette.
All right, Nathan. I see you're live on Twitch.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, I hear myself too.
Yeah.
That's why I mute myself on the Twitch, and just so I don't hear myself.
Yeah, same here.
All right,
But-
I'll do the same right here.
Yeah.
I think maybe-
Yeah, the is the fogging related to the LOD stuff, and can it kind of breaking that map
Ooh.
because like
Apparently that map isn't ready.
oofa doofa.
Okay, yeah, might as well unmute myself, so why not? So yeah, I'd like to see what progress has been made, if this is what the stream is about.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of showing off some of the work that Dez, one of our level designers, has been working on here with.
So is that Duke saying that?
I prefer meat to eat, not to ride.
Oh no, that is like a temporary. That's like the title card for the level.
Yeah, okay. So
Oh,
yeah,
these
so far
butterflies are so cool.
it's everywhere. I mean, it's a little too much, but it looks great. Love the progress. The thing that I'm really uncomfortable about is the fog that's in the background.
Yeah,
It
it's
feels
really
weird.
heavy. I'm noticing that.
Also, is there supposed to be lighting in this level? I don't see any lighting. Like the entire thing looks unlit.
There's something definitely weird going on with like the field of view, or like the distance.
Rainbow
The
Gem
distance
says
cutoff
there's-
is way too close.
Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, I feel like this level should need some lighting. Even if it does, it still needs some good lighting because it looks very unlit.
I wonder if it needs to be rebaked. We can double check that in Ducat here. I just wanted to make sure we
Yeah.
got to the end of it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
you
my
can do
mind's
that.
eye, I envision this level as like very like everything is just drenched in sun, and it looks like it hurts your eyes
Yeah.
to look at because it's so hot. but I don't
I
know how you
bet like this
convey
is
that.
literally Duke is
kids,
literally in
I'm a
Mexico. I wonder how he could.
Don't try this
I
at
wonder how he walked
school.
through all of that like disgusting hot weather
Yeah.
during his
This is
mission.
Nevada, right? Like in the
Yeah,
Mojave?
Yeah.
I think from Nevada to Arizona, because Morningwood it's in Arizona.
Mm.
Yeah. Patrolling the Mojave, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, Duke is basically crossing borders. I wonder if there's any money in the world just to go on a trip with Duke Nukem. Crossing each
Probably
border.
contest.
Can
As
you
far
make
as there
another
being a
ride?
reason for Duke to take the donkey, we kind of showed that off. There's like a roadblock in the very beginning of the. Oh, there's where
By
that
the
guy was
way,
shooting at me at.
there's a shit ton of animations for the donkey that needs to be configured. Like, let's say you shoot the donkey, it falls over. You need to like, is a mule ride basically a thing that you need to do? You have to stay on, or like something like, oh yeah, you can't kill this thing. You have to stay on it.
Yeah, in its current form, it is a on-rail shooter basically. And I'm kind
Okay.
of showing here. The way
Virtual
it's
cop,
done
eat your heart
is
out.
that Duke is actually mounted to the model that is the donkey.
So he can't get off of it or something?
I don't think. No, not right now.
Oh, so he can, but he couldn't.
Well, like I said, with the way it's set up right now,
Still work in progress.
yeah, yeah, but other than that, it's my understanding that basically the player model is mounted to the actual like actor in the game,
Yeah.
and so
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that you could build I'm sure that we could build a trigger to allow you to. I can't believe he's still shooting at me all the way out there.
Maybe there's some problems with the mountains. Probably might have to double check if there's any collision. Collision basically
Well, it is
means
a straight shot from here to there, but it's just like really far.
yeah. But yeah, I actually wonder if you guys would use meshes for the mountains, because the mountains are really prototype. Like, you know, the mountains are in a very placeholder type of state. So I'm wondering if you guys would update the mountains a little bit, make it look more rocky, more
Most
bouldery, more
most likely, I can't
round.
like necessarily speak 100%, but I would assume so. We've done a lot of work with that kind of stuff in the early on chapters, so I would assume that we would continue to work in the same capacity this far down the line as well.
Step right up and get some.
Oh, hope so. I hope the
John
rest of the
Sargent.
team does well.
Sorry.
No, nothing. Go ahead.
Damn,
John Sargent in the
makes
chat
it
asks,
good.
maybe you could see a third-person model with the legs and such while on the donkey. Full body awareness was already being talked about in interviews at this time. Is there like any evidence of that in the build that we know of, or is that something that
Yeah.
came online be much
I mean,
later?
I'm wondering if you guys would use like a view model of Duke's legs on the donkey. Like, you should be seeing his legs on the thing, not just Duke's severed head on above the donkey. Why did Duke sit on a... he broke his leg? Nope.
Bullseye.
Alright, well, I won't spoil when this demo is gonna be out. I'm not a part of the restoration team, I'm just saying. But, hopefully this demo would be pretty good.
Yeah, well, this wouldn't even be included on the demo. Like I said, this is just really rough and work that we're so messing
Bare
with.
bones. It's
Yeah.
very bare bones.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
promising.
honestly,
Still-
before Des worked on the map, the donkey just got stuck way back at the beginning, and there wasn't a whole lot going on. So,
Oh.
like, yeah,
Oh.
we've at least gotten it like functioning to the point where there's a path. So,
by
like,
the
that's
way,
the kind of like early state it's in still. You know,
look to your left. Is that supposed to be levitating?
he just died and ended up stuck there. That's how it happened.
I feel like this part of the level should have like you know, on dams they have like open parts. Like let's say in between these two wooden barrels, like these two wooden things on like they're plumbed into the ground. There should be like some type of, I don't know how you can describe it. By the way, what about I wanna sorry if I mean yeah, this is
No,
out
it's
live
okay.
by the way. It's okay, but is the new Duke Nukem model that we saw from the resto update, I think June update, is the new Duke model getting has it already got its fixes?
Has it already gotten what?
Fix it like has it been adjusted already?
It is
I'm looking
actively
like
being worked on. Yes, it's actually not even in the game just yet. What we were showing off. So that's how like early on still the or how work in progress still it was. But yeah, it is still being actively worked on.
Sweet. But yeah, a lot of projects, you know, a ton of projects going off.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a really exciting thing
Time
to be honest with you.
dial 911.
Yeah.
I am
You got
eager and
another
excited to see more like work and buzz around the Duke community. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like there's nothing
a lot
but
of
Same.
good
people.
things that can come out of more people digging into what's going on and looking at stuff.
Okay, since you guys are restoring the entire DNF 2001
I'd buy this
prototype,
for $1.
how would you feel about the DNF director's cut version being another type of restoration mod
I'd be
about
interested to
the same
see what
level?
the differences are and like how we approach things in different ways and that kind of thing.
Cool. I'm
Like
hoping to see that
genuinely, you know
too.
what I mean? Like I said, like honestly, I feel that like more people, you know, interacting in the community and more people like working on stuff in the community is nothing but a good thing. It's nothing but a good thing for Duke, you know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
Yep.
first and foremost the important thing is that Duke has a better legacy moving forward than what he's currently been left with, you know. I think everyone was
Also,
kind of disappointed.
is the
Um,
donkey supposed to slide this way? Oh yeah, because the
like I
cactus
said,
supposed to
it's
slide.
still very work in progress. I'm surprised like yeah. It's
It
obviously
would look
not supposed to
better.
slide away from you. I'm just
By the way,
Why can't I power slide on a donkey?
yeah, right.
I hope when this gets finished, finally you get to kick the donkey and make it go faster. It has a run animation. I ain't gonna lie. It does have a run animation.
So let's see. Oh yeah, I said I was going to show off some of this to kind of show you the integration of Pistol Start.
Ooh,
The
wow.
point you made about how all these Duke projects are only a good thing. It's also not just DNF, but like I'm seeing more people like showing up doing stuff in just like eDuke 32 and shit.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
before this, like Duke Smoochum, was popping off, and like that still looks amazing. And I could only imagine that that guy Dan is probably playing through the build himself and being like, oh shit, here's all these ideas that are going to inspire me for like Duke Smoochum and all these other mods. And yeah, like it's awesome. It's awesome to see the Duke as a
Amazing.
future again. It's fucking rad.
for sure. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I hope
Here we
that
go.
one thing that if hopefully it's safe to talk about the 2002 build of DNF now. About that. Now, do you think that so we all know that the hacker group
Luckily, my luck just
X0R_JMP,
gave
I
you
wonder if
the
they're like
finger.
I'm always wondering what these guys are doing at the moment. What do you think?
Looks like Lady
Because
Luck just gave you
the
the
2002
finger.
build has a lot of content.
You know, that's what supposedly is the. Oh, that's supposedly what the case is, and I mean, hey, if there's a 2002 build with a supposed 90% complete that's foretold, I'd love to see it.
Be
You know,
useful. It'd
but
be useful.
my thing is that if the 2002 build is really only 6 months after this, like,
Ruby.
I don't know. I don't know if
It ain't 6 months. It ain't 6 months like what what Matt Wood said on Twitter. The actual version is from December. If it's either from September, November, or December, it's still good.
I feel you. Like I said, I'd still be interested to see what it's like. No
Yeah.
doubt.
And yeah, the restoration would probably do better.
Well,
And
I'm
like
not
I'm
even saying
saying,
that. I honestly like maybe they like. I would love to see what they actually planned on doing with this version of the game. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like I am very curious to see like what they actually planned for like the end game and like how the story was going to wrap and how they
Yeah,
implemented like bombshell and stuff like that. You know.
we must know. Not until maybe a Giga League would happen, but yeah, you can continue the gameplay.
So basically as far as the pistol start goes, like this like encounter here, I've tried to make it like still balanced for pistol start, but there's all kinds of little goodies hidden throughout here, like the M16 that's up in the vent up there, and then also in Duke's Humidor,
Yeah,
I'd buy this for $1.
he's got a hidden stash of weapons as well. And
that's
so
amazing.
the player already is going to get drawn this way because we're going to have a phone call from Bombshell come in through the video phone here. And this also kind of
Okay.
points Duke towards his computer, which he still needs to get the code for
Yeah, the easy
study.
vend. I was wondering if the office would have a ton of stuff inside of there.
It might get some more stuff added to it still.
Okay.
Hasta la vista, asshole.
I'm probably sure in a few months this demo would be out, and I'd be happy with what the end result could have looked like. But however, I'm gonna keep my expectations low. Okay. I don't want to spoil what I think is good into something that I don't think it is. But yeah, I hope. Well, all I have to say is good luck.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're trying real hard. We work really hard.
Look at those baby blues.
I added his little pistol there too. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
We're working on
yeah.
getting the newer Duke model in still, like I said. We're most
Yeah.
likely going to keep it to where you have the or we have the older Duke models in as well, so that'll be fun too.
How many Duke models is there? That the restoration has created.
What do you mean? Like one?
Iterations of the Duke, yeah, like iterations of the
Let's see
2002
if
Duke model that they worked on.
I don't know. I'm not directly involved in that.
Okay, I bet.
I
Yeah, I
just
hope
keep an
things
eye
go
on it,
out.
and like it gets posted to us every now and then.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something real quick about the whole 2002 build stuff. I remember Charlie Wiederhold saying, I mean, like a Duke 4 comment a while ago about like how like
Figured
some things are going to be more broken in 2002, while other things would be more far along. Because like the problem with DNF is that it's forever in flux, right? So things were constantly breaking as well as they were being added. So who knows? Like
You
at
know what's the
2000,
problem about that? You know what's the problem that caused that issue?
what's that?
Because because of the engine that they were using.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that like people assume that getting 2002 build would be like, oh, you know, everything is just going to be so much better. It's like we don't really know, and
We don't
like,
know a lot.
yeah, and like honestly, I'm just happy with what we got. Like
Me too.
playing this leak on May 10th would have like just a surreal, amazing time. It was
I'll be right
so
back.
amazing.
I'll be right back. I gotta go check if my Reese's have been frozen because they were melted when I opened the package.
Right on.
BRB.
Got it. I'll answer if I'm feeling lonely.
No, it's actually, unfortunately, I thought this was a newer version. I have a newer version of this map where we actually have one of our voice actors, or I should
Bornal,
say
right?
one of our voice actresses as
Oh.
the AI here.
Is that Ivy?
I believe that is Semper. Let me double check exactly what her name is.
Okay.
I know it's Semper. It begins with Semper, but
Semper Games.
Okay, I'm back. I got some Reese's. I put them in the freezer because they were melty, so I'll take a quick bite. Oop, chunk just fell.
let's see
Okay.
here.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, the phones, the music's the Batman music sting while going down the pole is
Semper
legitimately
Victor
really good.
is the voice actress for our Duke AI.
Oh, right on.
She's also going to
Will?
be the voice actress for the grab bag machine, which is most likely going to show up in multiplayer. It's like a vending machine for weapons and ammunition.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Hmm. I guess we'll move on to the portion here where I work a little bit in the editor.
Okay.
Let's see.
Also, by the way, excuse me, about the give me a minute, I'm just finding hard here. Yeah, like about Unreal and the engine that they were using. One thing that they shouldn't, like, I mean, like, really, they shouldn't not have made or created was Cannibal Ed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Campbell Ed does seem a rather sassy piece of
Cool.
software, to say the least.
Yeah, it ain't too useful, in my opinion. I mean, I don't understand how people, or how in 3D Realms back in the day used to work with Cannibal Ed. It must be a pain in the ass.
I
Well,
can
wasn't
only
it?
assume that
No
it
editor.
ran much. It must have run better on whatever hardware they were running. They were building it off of at the time because yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Mm.
Myron D, I think is your name. Brandon Bloom is doing a lot of the music for the restoration project, right, along with others.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, a Legacy of Grab Bag track that he's done is probably a pretty good indication of the kind of stuff that he'll be writing, I imagine, like
Mm.
for the more heavier gameplay parts. And then is the plan still for a more ambient soundtrack overall?
Shout out to Brandon Bloom.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon Bloom is really fucking good at what he does.
He's a king.
Um.
Brandon,
Uh,
if you're
I believe that
Brandon,
is
if
the
you
case. I don't want to speak for
Okay.
him. I'm not entirely sure, but
Of course, of
yeah.
course.
So
Brandon, if you're
let's.
watching this, I just want to say you're rad, man. Keep it up. Huh.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why it's not
So
showing Duke Ed.
about another question.
Sure.
So, their majority, like there's a majority of many editors that many new engines that came over the years in the late 90s, like around 1998 or so. During the engine switch, I think what time did it happen? Was it in 19 or late 98, I think?
Here we go.
Late '98, early '99, I want to say, because '98 they were at E3 and they were showing off the Quake 2 version. I
Yeah,
think
Quake
early
2
don't have,
is
'99,
dead
that's
now,
when the
right?
change happened.
they only had like 6 months of work at that time. Only like
Yeah.
6 months of what they did. I mean, there's a lot, like a ton of engines they should have used during that time. Not only Unreal, because Unreal is a piece of crap whenever it comes to modding or making something out of it, you know?
I mean,
Oh,
man,
there's a
it's really not too bad. Like, I know it's
yeah.
like not like
Yeah.
the most modern game engine, but it's.
Yeah, that's the issue, because no, maybe that isn't the issue. I mean, Unreal,
I don't think
it's
it's.
very good. It's very good, except that the modding tools are kind of hard to come by. I mean, I don't find it that hard for some reason.
I think the biggest issue is that Unreal Ed is a very unpredictable editor that can leave your maps full of BSP holes. But other than that, I mean, I'm quite fond of Unreal Engine 1. I mean,
Me
I
too.
love the way it controls, love the way it looks. I love the way it has a feel and how that feel can be like modified to
I
suit
get a lot
whatever.
of nostalgia from it, even though I wasn't even born. So like 5 decades ago when it existed, but
Yeah.
one thing that I'm very fond, like there are other engines. You got Itech 3, you got freaking Gold Source at that time. It came out in '98. I mean, I don't see why they don't want to use it, or I don't know, maybe they didn't see it for anything like that. I just wonder. Crytek
So
took forever. Y'all like jazz. I don't think it would be good.
yeah, no. So your point about Gold Source, I think the reasoning there was like Three Realms, based on what I've heard over the years, had a really like big like, hey, fuck those guys mentality because like, especially with Valve and Ritual, because like Valve had ex Duke 3D members working in there, so staying with Ritual. So I bet like even the idea of licensing Gold Source probably would have been shot down very early on because Brassard's probably like, fuck those guys, Chuck
I'll be right
Jones
back.
left
Hold on.
us. Yeah, no worries.
Be right back.
And like Charlie has said before that they were planning, at least they were thinking about licensing Ritual's tech for the Quake 2 version because that would allow them to solve the issue of like the much bigger open environments. But again, George was very much fuck those guys mentality. And, Unreal didn't have any of that emotional baggage associated with it. Like it was, there was nothing to hate them for. What's interesting though is that like they're playing with Unreal as early as '97, I want to say, and they actually thought it sucked back then because like I think they were like, God, if I remember correctly, there's a PC Gamer story, and they're working on a Bombshell game, and they canceled it, and that was going to use Unreal. But I guess like they changed their minds later on. But yeah, sorry for the rant.
No, it's interesting. I mean, right on. I appreciate it.
My mind is full of garbage. What can I say?
No, it's good info.
I spent many, many years obsessing with this game to like a borderline academic point where I've had people say like, "Why don't you just write a book on this shit?" And I definitely had that thought because there were attempts to make a book around the time the Wired article came out, but Broussard shut all that shit down,
Hmm.
which is a genuine shame.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's my theory for why they didn't go with like Gold Source or any other like branch of that tech is because there was like, yeah, there's emotional baggage associated with it.
Can I ask how good you can hear me?
You're a little quiet, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry because it's like I'm not home. I won't be for another 2 weeks. So yeah.
No,
So
you're fine.
yeah, actually, I just wanted to say that this project is really cool and like I'm as I said in my introduction, I'm really looking forward to it and like I'm an archivist, so I really love leaks. I've been collecting every single one until this. So yeah, I was really excited when I saw it. I actually thought that it was a fake at first because like people were, it's 4chan. People always say they have something, and actually like it's amazing actually seeing that it wasn't. And I downloaded it and then played it as soon as I could, considering I had to do summer homework. But yeah, it's amazing, and I'm glad you guys are doing this. Uh, so yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
shut up now.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no,
Oh, you're cool. You're cool.
yeah, I definitely feel you. I as well just like immediately kind of grabbed it as soon as it went up with the fear that it wasn't going to stay up,
Yep.
and
Yep.
yeah, it's just really cool that we even got the ability to like look at this kind of stuff and mess with this kind of stuff, and I'm definitely always like I don't know, it definitely sorry, uh, the leak itself. Yeah, I don't know. It inspired me very much so to be creative and to try to work on this stuff and look into this stuff more and and help make this like an actual thing we can accomplish and do and give to people and I don't know. I'm excited and honored and happy to work on this every day. It's always fun.
Yeah. I remember when I remember the day before when the news broke that there was going to be a release. I remember waking up to about 7 different people adding me on Discord and Twitter, being like, "You need to see this right the fuck now. The minute you gain consciousness." And I just remember being so excited, and then going to bed, and then waking up to about 15 more people adding me saying, "Oh my god, it's out," and I just
It's
remember,
actually happened.
yeah, I just nothing else that day mattered. Like literally, I got nothing else done but play in that league. And like like a lot of people say like, "Oh, this is an art test," but like for being an art test, it's one hell of a fucking art test. Like, man, those textures are good, and so is everything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of playable content for an art test.
Hmm. Yeah, Reaper says Level Lord was also ritual. Yeah, the whole and that's the Level Lord saga is one hell of a fucking saga. The way that he was basically poached from Monolith by 3D Realms, like, holy shit. And then weren't they like, they were involved with like Free Space at one point, like 3D Realms and Apogee, and then like some distribution deal or something? Because I remember they mentioned it in like a news update. It was so weird.
What card game is this supposed to be? Oh, craps. Duh. Okay. So let's see here.
I'm gonna say, Amarin, that like opening up the restoration project to donations, like I should say, I'm not a staff member. I am just a passionate weirdo. Um, Opening up to donations or patrons or anything would be a very, very, very bad idea because that would make the lawyers log the fuck on.
Yeah, we're not looking to do anything like that.
Yeah,
And to be honest with you, this is a labor of love from the community for the community, So we wouldn't want to kind of sully that or make anyone feel kind of weird with that if we started trying to
yeah,
take money for it. Like,
yeah,
that's not the kind of thing it is.
for sure.
Some really fun stuff here, but yeah, what I want to kind of do with this is let me just we'll just show off what's here at least.
Right on.
I need to rebake the lighting.
Ben versus the game asks, I'm wondering if you guys have any vision for what the levels of what the last very incomplete levels will look like. I want to say Bad Guy has mentioned that like there's definitely some strong ideas to the ending that they can't wait to show people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We so as far as the storyline goes, we have most of the main storyline beats, at least like written down. And so what we're at now is we're slowly working through and like writing the actual scripting, like the writing the actual like scripts for the first couple chapters still. Really just ironing out exactly how things are going to go. And so we have talked a lot about the ending and what exactly we want to do. And I absolutely, of course, can't like really speak too much on it, but I am. It's a while off, so I don't even really think about it too much. But it is
yeah,
still exciting,
awesome.
and I think it is still like in the we had a lot of discussions already about like making sure that it's something that's still like Duke and in the vein of Duke and still
For sure.
promotes like further projects of Duke, like still.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic to hear. I will say, if anyone's interested in reading about like how fucking dramatic the '90s FPS scene was, especially in the Dallas Fort Worth area, on Shack News there is an ebook called Rocket Jump that I cannot recommend enough, especially as it goes into how like I'm talking about 3D Realms being like huge drama queens, but like id Software, especially post Romero id, was just as hostile to other people and like just as hostile to themselves too. It's a fantastic fucking ebook. I highly recommend it if you're interested in that shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, Joe's in the chat. You put a bunch of passionate Duke fans in the room. They have feelings about how it needs to end.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, like I said, that was definitely a really important discussion, and I'm sure will still continue to be as we get that far along. But we're still working through chapter 1 and making sure this is all cleaned up and fun. So we've got a while yet before we're actually talking about any of that.
Yeah, for sure. I just posted a link to the ebook in the chat if anyone wants to go check that out.
Very cool. Thank you.
That's the same writer as the upcoming FPS documentary, by the way, which is why I'm very, very excited for that documentary.
Will you add additional missions and characters? Absolutely. We've already talked about a couple levels that might have to be like created from scratch. Not too many. There's honestly so many and more than enough in here to work with in the leak that we can just kind of add upon. But additionally, as far as characters and stuff like that go, yeah, I think there are characters that, I mean, that we're just straight adding from nothing. Not really. There's maybe a couple, but for the most part, it's making sure that stuff that's already in existence is being reused. Or
Yeah,
at
you want to
least
use all
utilized.
yeah, use all parts of the buffalo.
Yep. Okay, so you can't see this part because I did this, but if I do that, there we go. So, something I've been working on. It's supposed to make all of the NPCs run towards you, but so far it's just this guy. This is actually something it's a mixture of something that I was trying to do and something that was actually originally in the map. There are 2 invisible triggers over here that were supposed to set someone named George to come run at you, being chased by it seemed like a snatcher or a snatched. And so what I've done is I'm trying to make it so all of these people in here run to you screaming, and then there's like some snatchers following them or some EDF following them.
Interesting.
Excuse me while I push my entrails back in.
Something else.
Kind of sells that idea of Duke being the hero too, because it's like, oh, you know, all the civilians are flocking to him because he'll save us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this over here, so all this stuff was already. Whoop. All of this stuff over here was already here. Yeah. Same with this here, except for that guy. But it just wasn't utilized. And so what I've done is turned all of these little drawers, which you can kind of see, or these little gates, which you can kind of see clipping there, into movers, so you can actually appropriately assign triggers to them and have them raise and lower. And so the original path was just to go straight over to here and, you know, fight all these guys over here and then fight the EDF 209 at the end. But instead, what we're probably going to do is force you to go this way or that way first, with these gates being closed, and then have to find a way to open them up. And that way, it also kind of utilizes some of this cool stuff we have. Like they very, very clearly had an idea for this, because you have like this over here, and it's like obvious that you were supposed to do that with it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
There's no other reason they would have put that there. And so, like, I want to kind of flesh this out. My current idea is to add kind of like a security area, because the other thing is that at the end, you kind of just walk through the fire the 209 like creates when it breaks through the wall, and that's just kind of the end of it. And so what I would like to do is add a fire suppression system that's like in the Penthouse B. And so it actually puts the fire out. And so I'm going to add a security room that'll open up these other gates to allow you to access this stuff. and then do something with the fire suppression system. And so, like, when we talk about like modifying levels and like changing things, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, we still want to. I'm still trying to embody the original idea of the level as much as I can, which is you're exploring the casino and fighting through some EDF and stuff, and then also like utilize what the developers like literally put here. You know, like they did all of this. Why am I blocking the player off from all of this when I can
I'm
like
sorry,
add
but like,
fun
is
stuff to
this
dig through here?
is the stream on yet, or just
Yeah,
that you're
Oh, yeah.
the Twitch stream is it's on a Twitch stream. It's over in
Oh,
the
it's. I'm
yeah.
sorry,
Originally
it's
we
on
were going to use the
Twitch.
YouTube channel, but we weren't able to do it unfortunately. So
Where is it? Wait, I'm sorry, I'm a dumbass. I'm sorry for being dumb.
no, it's okay.
all good.
Over in the community.
Okay, I'm looking.
Perfect.
Our
yeah.
mics are.
Yep. Yeah, you'll have to mute the stream. Yep. So yeah, they built all this. So why block the player off from it when we can like add something to this and like make it more explorable and more interactable, like we have already kind of talked about, where just like they clearly wanted you to be able to do this kind of stuff. So
Those are all really cool, awesome changes in my opinion, because like, yeah, it's weird how in the leak, like, it is just one wing you go down through. So like, yeah, having like almost like a little hub base, like hub and spoke design, I'm way the fuck into that.
And so then, yeah, and the last thing I've done so far is I added the entrance, so you could actually, because right now this was before just a flat wall, because they either hadn't finished this or just weren't going to let you go over here. And so I made it so you can actually see the exit, and this is as it is on the other side of the buffet. Because the other thing is that there's like a something else that might get done is I kind of want to integrate. There's a really cool pool in one of the penthouse test maps that we want to kind of try to add to the outside, but we want to make sure that it still makes sense with the geometry of the casino and like the almost mini mall we have here, because we have like these areas where it's obvious that the casino is more than just a straight casino. It's like,
Yeah, like a city unto itself.
yeah, right.
Shopping center.
And so we want to
right.
I want to add that pool, but I want to make sure that it's going to be added somewhere that makes sense. So originally I was going to add it there, and then when I looked at the geometry of the map, saw how this was, and then actually loaded the buffet. The buffet is literally from here to here. So it is all of this space right here that's missing, that like L. So I couldn't add it there. So yeah, it's just kind of further thinking about that. Might go over somewhere off this table, but I also don't know that there would be a pool off of the gambling hall. But I've also really never been to a casino, so
I mean, like,
I've been
if
to
you're...
casinos. That's
Go ahead.
it's typically not how they work. I mean, I would put it like maybe more towards the mall area, or just have it in the penthouse.
Well, we already
Like
have a pool in the penthouse. This would be like a second public pool almost,
Yeah,
I mean, what you
I mean,
could
it could
do,
work.
what you could do is you could have like a, I don't know, employee daycare or something. It's like, Duke Nukem cares about your children, bring him here, and then there's your pool.
Yeah.
I have a weird question.
Sure.
What do y'all think about the weird magic stuff in the files?
We were actually
like
talking
all the
about
magician
that.
stuff.
It would be really fun to find a place to incorporate that.
Oh, I don't know about this. What's this about?
There's magician stuff in the files.
Oh my god!
Can you see my the meshes window here?
No, I don't think that stuff renders. I've tried to record it. It doesn't work.
Maybe I can like add it.
The temptation to do the Randy jokes with the magician is so fucking high.
That's not what I wanted. Wrong one. I want a window capture.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. You all saw yourselves there for a second. Here we
I'll never
go.
perceive
There we go.
myself.
Now you can see it, right?
I got a black screen on this end.
You have a black
Yep,
screen
same
on
here.
that end. What
Duke
has
ED
happened?
does not like to be recorded. Does not.
It's showing up in my preview.
Yeah, I was about to ask if we were supposed to be seeing Duke yet, because every time it was loaded, it was just a black screen.
Huh. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to do this
it does
really
not like to be
hackily
recorded.
then, and do it like this. Can you see now?
Nothing yet.
Not yet. I still see a black screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a game magician sign. Was there?
Now you guys can see.
Is
Yes.
that
I think we need to wait a while before we can
okay.
actually see it because of the
There
delay
will be
between
a
the stream
300
and the
millisecond
Discord.
delay, but
Yeah,
Oh dang. Okay.
something like that.
but it's still on the black screen though.
Yeah, it's on the
Very
black
sorry.
screen. I even reloaded the stream just to check.
Very sorry. If you guys can
That's
tell,
alright.
I don't stream for a living. I do IT.
All good.
Uh,
And asking if the magician thing was a jab at Randy, and so I could actually see it because Broussard was really fucking shitty towards Randy when he was at Rebel Boat Rocker. Like they were like talking all kinds of shit about each other in the plan files back then. So you could probably make the case for that.
Isn't there like a Randy model with a Duke 3D shirt on and just a test level or something?
okay.
There's
There
a
might
guy
be.
with a Duke 3D shirt, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Randy.
Now
I
you
thought that
guys
was
can see
George.
what's going on.
Hey, now I can see it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
there it is. There's Duke.
Oh, and you got the
Hey.
mesh window.
Oh
to-
yeah.
Yep, and I got the mesh window to work. Perfect. Okay. The mesh window doesn't move when I move it, but that's fine. You guys can see it, and that's the important thing. So let me zoom in here.
Mhm.
I thought it was George too. The question that the guy with the Duke 3D shirt is supposed
Is
to
it?
be Randy. Randy's a wiry
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I think it's
Good point.
Vegas.
That model looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, like
I-
the fucking asset
I
quality.
don't know. I don't know how that would work on a PC from 2001, though. To be frank.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
neither.
this game probably wasn't going to ship till 2003, right?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how well this would work on a 2003 PC though.
I think people have gotten it
I mean-
running.
Got a bird cage.
Really?
Yeah,
well.
I think
We've
so.
got this big.
I know
hammer
LGR
harness.
played it.
Yeah,
Oh, there you.
Magic sandbag, magic top hat.
Oh, you should show the weird ant stuff in the AFB, the ant or whatever the hell it is.
I have heard
There's
Randy's actually pretty
Unfriendly
nice,
Skies.
and been asking or saying that he
This?
met him at E3 once.
Yeah, I like. What the hell are these things supposed to be? I have no idea. I've been trying
Is
to
this
figure it out.
It
Like a
looks
reference to the 98 build, maybe?
It looks like it's a like piece of machinery.
Yeah.
Also, look at
Yeah.
the plane in there.
This guy
There's
here.
there's like a stealth bomber in that folder. Or no, it's a mesh. Yeah, that. I think that was supposed to be the Unfriendly Skies plane or something. That's my personal theory.
Okay.
I think it looks
Okay.
about the right size.
You guys were asking a little earlier, and I was distracted. But you guys were asking me about if we were gonna have like the immersion as far as like being able to see Duke's legs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that would be too hard to do as far as like maybe for stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything actually like here right now that supports that they planned on making it so when you like look down you can see Duke's legs and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Not that we couldn't do something like that, but
That's like a lot of engineering work.
right.
Yeah. There's a reason very few games do full body awareness, but yeah, it would be cool because they did mention that in 2001. But like, if it's a pain in the ass, then nah, I don't really need it.
It would be cool though, but no,
It
you
would be
don't need it
cool,
at all.
yeah. I mean, Fear does it great. I like how Wolfenstein 2 does it, although like the combat really suffered because they did it.
Unfriendly Skies just uses the Area 51 train. I mean, that's what the flying test level does. Oh, that could work. Flying test level is a mess.
It does sound like it's post 2002 Fawns, but like I do promise you, if you look up interviews from around E3 2001, George was saying that like they were thinking about full body awareness even back then, and like there's a little bit of it in the leak with when the fucking the part where you're getting blown out of the tube by the dragon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like I think they intended that to be a little bit of that in there too.
I mean, I think it would be definitely be a really cool thing. It would just
It'd be a cool
something...
mod for someone to make.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a fun little thing. There's like a 98 style tank in one of the dam levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I love
really
the
too
poly
bad.
tank.
The low poly tank. It's like my favorite thing. I love the low poly tank.
I just got back. Did I miss anything? I had dinner.
Huh?
I mean, some
We
discussion.
looked at magician stuff.
We looked at magician stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it'll all be in the VOD anyway, as the kids say, the
Yeah.
VOD.
Yeah, this will get uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. So.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, we had some people who were on the team that weren't able to make it too, that wanted to make sure they had the
Starring Restoration Team, directed by Evita Rod. Well, yeah, I think I might have to go now.
Fair enough.
Take it easy.
Yeah, keep it easy, man.
You too. Adios.
Yeah, man.
Take it sleazy.
What about bosses?
Do you all have boss?
What's that?
Oh, I was just nothing. I was just gonna repeat what he asked about bosses.
Yeah. So as far as bosses go, the plan right now is to have them kind of like, so what we've talked about is things are structured a little differently than this than Duke 3D, right? So in Duke 3D, you had this you had the episodes where like there was like a big boss battle at the very end, right? And so what we've planned on doing, or what we're planning on doing, I should say, is basically to have it so you come upon these like you come upon like a major boss battle like in kind of segments like that, but it's only going to be like 3 or 4 actual like boss in quotation marks battles, and then like some kind of like mini bosses here or there that you'll see turn into like a bigger enemy later. That's also like a very common trope of boomer shooters, you know. So like I think we already talked about this during the live stream, so I can talk about this here. So like the first big boss battle we're going, or I shouldn't say the first big boss battle, the first boss battle we're really going to have, other than the EDF 209, is going to be during the boxing arena, right? In the boxing ring, right? And so we're going to make that what we're just kind of loosely dubbing now the Snatcher adult warrior, right? So it's going to look kind of like their Snatcher, the Snatcher adult, which just pull back into meshes here really quick. Is this one here, the one you guys were talking about earlier, you said it looked really well modeled. This guy here is gonna basically get a retexture and a recolor that kind of match the Duke Nukem the concept art. There's a concept art shot that shows Duke like standing over a big alien corpse with the Evil Dead chainsaw on his arm.
Ah,
and,
yeah.
yeah. So we're going to kind of try to recreate that because we basically, looking at that, looking at this, they're very, very similar, and we definitely think that that's kind of what they were going for, or that's how we interpreted it at least. So we're gonna work on a recolor of this adult snatcher to be kind of like the adult snatcher warrior you fight during the boxing arena, and then that's also going to be kind of the introduction to the snatchers in general, like these adult snatchers in general. So you might have to fight a couple of them, let's say in like chapter 2.
But nice.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Yeah, the lightning pig is going to be just a variant, possibly.
Ooh.
Isn't there like an empty model for it in the characters file? Like it's just called lightning and that's it, and it's completely empty.
Let's see. So we go to characters, we go to pig, and then we go to edit. I guess it might be in here, but no. I don't
There
think
should
you
just
guys
be a
can
mesh
see.
that's just called lightning, and it's just basically empty.
Honestly, I'm just happy that we're not just gonna have the same Battlelord fight 3 times in a row.
That would be extremely boring.
Yeah, no, we're not looking to do
Yeah.
that.
Okay, good to have that in speech then.
Yeah. No, that's also something we kind of talked about too. I'm not seeing anything within the actual pig cop mesh, but there might be something somewhere else. Oh, there's even a available frames bike frame. Don't tell
Ooh.
me they meant for these.
Oh,
piggies to ride
wait,
bikes.
Elvis? Wasn't Elvis meant to ride a bike?
Not sure.
Yeah, alien_lightning. It's just basically an empty file. I have no idea what alien_lightning. It has animations. It has some of the pig cop animations. It has idle A. Oh wait, no. Could that be a later version of the Tesla? They just never finished. I don't know.
I don't know.
Tesla Raptor is also weird.
Tesla Raptor's in here. We definitely plan on incorporating this little guy.
Yeah,
I got
see?
really
Weird.
distracted.
His animations are weird. Kind of has animations like the chainsaw animations. Like how they're laid out. Like attack long, attack loop, attack start. EF6.
Take it easy,
Oh,
Joe.
it's an untextured box of cigarettes.
Keep it easy, bud. Okay.
The thing that sucks about the pig cops in DNF is that there's no real good joke you can make at a Las Vegas police department that is as good as lard.
Yeah.
I mean, lard is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
I find it weird that they had like all these small animals like snakes and stuff that they were going to have attack you. Isn't that weird?
I think it's
Why?
pretty fitting with first-person shooters of the time. I mean, look at like Daikatana, right?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I just find it weird when you're killing small animals, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, but I can absolutely see the logic. Is like, oh well, we need more enemies. Let's just get some fucking snakes after Duke. Then you can have Duke say the Indiana Jones line.
Was the vulture meant to attack? Oh wow, the vulture has a shocking amount of animations. Why?
Oh, this reminds me.
I
should
think if you're gonna sit
really
there asking why things are like this in DNF, we're gonna be here a while.
resave that.
Fly, glide, look about. What did they plan for this vulture? Why does it have so much stuff? I
mean,
don't
that's some
understand.
dedication, you know.
This is 3D Realms,
Look
baby.
around, open wings to walk, sit
Oh,
up.
editor crashed.
It's either this or slowly go mad.
I
Sorry.
think I am slowly going mad trying to figure out why the vulture has so many animations.
Cosmic Horror is just looking at the DNF fucking asset directory.
Probably supposed to be
Uh,
used in the canyon levels, like the mule ride or something. That would be my
Yeah,
guess.
probably.
I can't
Or while you're
remember
riding the donkey.
what the level names are for those. I think it does said something to me here. 3-2. Okay.
low quality tank, my beloved.
Hell yeah.
With its animation, lowercase fire.
Okay. Let's see here.
Mwah. Chef kiss.
This doesn't seem right. Unless there's just not all of it here.
Oh, that's a good point, Rainbow. I wonder if they're going to use vultures as like a corpse like removal scheme to like free up memory and shit.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, you're on the canyon level. That I couldn't figure out how the hell you were supposed to progress through. Like, I know every level has an ending. I couldn't figure out this one's ending. I just always skip the canyon. Pretty boring.
This doesn't seem like what I thought.
The EDF trucks with all the hovering landing animations. Oh, and one made out of solid money. I forgot about the money one. What am I? Hey!
Visioning a world where 3D Realms got Rowdy Piper to do like a cameo in this game. That seems something 3D Realms would have tried to do. For like 20 seconds, is getting a wrestler. I think I made my statement before in the server about how the circle of wrestling fans in the 90s and Duke Nukem fans is just a single circle.
Okay, the fog is still a little fucky, but this is actually better than it was.
God damn.
Doesn't look like some of the stuff has been actually integrated yet. It does look
I
like
find
it
it
needed to
funny.
be rebaked, though, for sure. Because now it doesn't
I
look
find
all...
it funny how some of the.
You're fine.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
bad about that.
You're still good. Go ahead.
Oh, I find it funny how some of the vehicles are like hyper futuristic and some of them are just like a normal helicopter, a normal boat. Like,
Yeah.
really, really split on the hyper realistic or just normal cars thing. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. The thing I kind of the bigger lore dump, the EDF facility that like kind of like posits that after the Duke 3D storyline that like they just ransacked all the technology for like hover cars and shit, right?
Yeah.
But maybe like you can kind of headcanon it's like, oh, like they're still like in the process of replacing like, you know, conventional vehicles with like their hover equivalents and shit. But you're right, it is a
Good
little bit
point.
weird that like they don't stick to one aesthetic or another.
Was this truck meant to get exploded or something? Why is every single one of its pieces an individual things?
A lot of
Yeah,
stuff is
very
like that.
random.
You can't ask these questions.
Like even like this guy here, I think partially it's because when you have it built into little individual pieces like this, you then also get all these little individual faces you get to apply.
Yeah, 'cause that's
Yeah,
a
but
part
then
of
they just
the.
later on there is a fully built one though. And that's the only one they use.
Maybe it was like early on stuff that never got removed, kind of deal. You know, I
I
feel
don't
you
know.
though. I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah. I wonder if the Gorse system was in before Soldier of Fortune, or if it's supposed to be a like response to Soldier of Fortune.
I don't know. Wasn't there like gibbing and stuff? And no, well, gibbing has kind of always been a thing. I don't know.
There's jibbing in Duke 3D, but like the very like hyper interactive violence where like you can choose which limb to separate and shit. That seems like a very like, oh shit, Soldier of Fortune came out and everyone's talking about its gore system.
Ben versus the game asked if the 2001 story is going to make any sense. It seems like there's an alien attack, but no one really cares. Yeah, that's actually something we want to try to convey through visual storytelling or like like actions and events that go on around Duke. So like what's happening here is kind of just like the very beginning of whatever's happening, right? So that's kind of how we've envisioned it, where the snatchers, the EDF are just getting like basically turned, like the parasite is just like doing its thing and turning some of the very early on ones here, and so like those ones are now turning around and those are the ones that are assaulting the casino, and so through things like like I'm trying to get all these folks in here to actually run to Duke when the level starts, and like some of the work we've done in Hotel, we haven't actually shown that off just yet, but that's going to have kind of the same thing, where you've got NPCs kind of like panicking, running out of hotel rooms away from the snatched. And so, as far as like people not caring, that's also like further from that. We've got some really cool ideas planned for Las Vegas Boulevard, where you actually team up with some of the other NPCs and kind of go through the streets and try to help fight off some of the infected EDF. Um,
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, well, we are definitely we definitely will be getting or trying to make the people seem more alert and alive and aware of what's going on.
Because my understanding. Sorry, go ahead.
So is that confirmation you're keeping the flashlight guy in Dark Hotel?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I actually like
Jesus.
that sequence a lot.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's an effective sequence.
I hate having to navigate him though. It's so bad.
Yeah, that I'll agree with.
I just kill him now.
Well, if you kill him, you'll never get night vision goggles.
Yeah, but I mean,
which we're working on that too.
You also don't have to deal with him.
You gotta see him do with the little dance, right? That's what it's all about.
Yep. But we've done a couple things to make that level. It was kind of visible during the live stream last week, or over the weekend. It will we'll be releasing the full comparison video of what's currently done. Probably maybe next week, maybe the end of this week. Our plan is to, or what we've done, makes that entire ordeal a little more palatable.
Well, that's good. Which Liz Trooper are you guys going for?
So we're not really going to be using the Lizard Troopers too much, to be honest with you. For the flashback sequence, we definitely will be, of course, still. But oh, what is the third pawn that's now suddenly selected? There we go.
I think it'd be cool to have like Liz Trooper used very like sparingly during the main campaign, but yeah, I think using it mostly during the flashbacks would be cool.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like which model are you going to use? Because one of them is
Oh.
terrible.
Oh. I
Good one.
actually we're going to be using the modernized one. The older one
Oh,
I
good.
did leave as an Easter egg in one of the other levels, but yes, we are going to be using the
Thank
updated
the
one.
Lord.
Yeah.
The old one is not good. Surprised they left it in there, to be honest. Most of the 98 characters and stuff aren't in there anymore. So it was earlier. I guess the older Liz Trooper is more 99.
Dude, how many of these did they place there? So this was a weird thing that I found, and I guess I can, now that I'm placing them to try to use them as a, I was just trying to do it for a nice quick thing, but so there's the dead stripper that is in one of the hotel rooms in hotel that had like the shower like pipe go through her or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they copy pasted her a ton in this one room.
Wait, so it's just
Huh.
the same person over and over again? That's odd.
A ton
Why?
of them. A ton
Oh.
of them.
That's so weird.
A ton of them.
Kind of a weird error to make.
Oh, that's the last one. All right. Well, I don't need all these dead bodies.
You only need 3 of them.
And the other interesting thing is, yeah, they're just straight copied from the hotel because they're in the same group.
Weird.
Bad hotel suite. Or hotel suite bad. But yeah. Strange. Don't know. Don't know what happened there.
Oh, they're talking about the old shrink ray. It does look like a Devastator.
Shrinking effects in DNF are so fucking cool.
What's that?
Yeah.
The shrinker effects.
Oh, yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Pretty fun in multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question. A lot of people have been asking, about stuff that they're planning to add, but like, has the team been talking about like things that they plan on cutting instead?
A little bit. But the thing is that the way we've been really trying to approach it is not necessarily what are we going to cut as much as it's what can we repurpose. So
Yes, yeah.
anything that comes up like that, like there was some light controversy over the whole Booty Island thing. Like the plantation, we plan on utilizing in another manner. I don't want to necessarily spoil what that is because 50% Joe, one of our story guys, has come up with a really cool idea for it, and I think that it's something that because he's actually also a Southern boy, so I think it'll be a fun nod to the to that and still allow us to incorporate it somehow into the game.
Okay. Right on.
But then there's also things like the school, don't try this at school line, that's like maybe a little like on the edge. But again, we've had a lot of conversations about that, and like, well, we don't want to absolutely, we don't necessarily want to just cut it. So how can we make it more like form fitting, or how can we make it, make more sense? Because the other thing is that Duke doesn't really
Contextual.
like. Yeah, contextualize it, exactly.
Mhm.
Because Duke doesn't really reference things and break the fourth wall in that manner. He does like
Mhm.
say a bunch of stuff and like he does like give quips and stuff, but he doesn't like talk directly to the player like that. And that's also not really like something you normally say, right? The actual line is don't try this at home.
Yeah.
And so like that would be a
Yeah.
more fitting line if he was just gonna like say that. But so instead, what we might do, and once again, all of this is stuff is up in the air. It's all just stuff
Mhm.
that nothing is set in stone. Like we haven't, if you were listening earlier while I was going through the study, he actually still said the line because it's still incorporated in the game. But so what we've talked about is maybe like making it so Duke, is when you're driving down the freeway or driving in the desert there might be like a bus that you like jump or something like that, and then it like still contextualizes that line, and
It's
make
got
sure
more of
that
a
it doesn't
punch
get
to it.
removed. Yeah, and it makes more sense
Yeah.
too.
No, I'm
I
into
also
that.
feel like it's not very Duke to make fun of school shootings. To be frank.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's a little bit much.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So, like I said, we want to just we want to make sure that we're still utilizing what we have because we already got Gianni to redo the voice line. Even, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we have a new version of that line.
I do remember sitting in on a session that Meows was doing, like just like playing with Ableton and shit, and hearing him go like, "Wow, that's pretty fucking edgy," in the
Yeah.
Duke voice too.
It sounds like a postal dude thing to say.
It really does. It sounds very postal, and like Duke isn't postal.
No,
Postal's postal.
exactly. It's its own thing.
Yeah. What I was more to ask was like, because like there's definitely there's a worry that the campaign is, as they were scoping it, was going to be really fucking long, and I was more asking like, has the team thought about ways to like condense narrative ideas into shorter maps that would fit the more average gameplay length, or conversely, is a team planning to honor that intention to make like a very long FPS? Because I can go both ways personally.
So
Or
as
is
it
that still an
stands,
active conversation?
right. It is actually. I need to add some lighting over here. You can't see shit. As it stands currently, yes. We plan on. I'm sorry. Switching in and out of that, I completely lost my train of thought. Can you back up 30 seconds for me? Just repeat
Sure.
what you
Yeah,
said.
I was just asking about like, with regards to talking about the team potentially cutting things and
Oh,
kind of this, yeah,
and the length of
the
things
worry
and
about,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, we still want to. We've actually been that was an active discussion were having last night and this morning still about trying to figure out exactly how long things should be and what
Mhm.
exactly like right now it's really hard to say how long the game is going to be. We've definitely been
Right.
trying to. I think we have the same amount of chapters in our storyline roughed out as there are chapters in the current build. So the idea is that, yes, I guess we would be trying to keep that idea that the game is going to be a longer first-person shooter, but at the same time, it's still kind of hard to tell. Like ideally, I
Yes.
kind of want to try to make chapter one about an hour long. That's my kind of target.
Okay.
I like building things out and fleshing things out. But like an hour long for each chapter, probably it won't be. I
Yeah,
think sometimes it'll kind of be like a Douglas Adams book where, you know, you get to a chapter and maybe it's a page long and then you turn the page. You know what I mean?
yeah, I like that metaphor.
You know, it'll still be like, you know, the chapters almost mark like events and beats in the story as much as they, you know, mark like
Mhm.
a breaking up of. It is still a breaking up of things, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But you want quiet and loud, right? You want good pacing. You want like the player not to get exhausted because you don't want to be Doom Eternal. You don't want to be Doom Eternal and like have every map end with the player just going, "Oh my god, I can breathe now," because like that just gets fucking exhausting after a while, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good to hear that like you're definitely planning on like having some chapters being like, you know, for lack of a better term, like epics, while others being like, yeah, like here's like, you know, 10 minutes in a certain location where, you know, an important story plot or a story event happens, and then on to the next chapter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the game that you don't know what to do with? I'm sure. You know, um, I'm sure there'll be stuff that we come upon that's like that. I don't know like anything off the top of my head. We've been trying to account for everything as much as possible. But ultimately, yeah, I don't know. There might be some stuff that like we have a hard time finding what to do with, but we're kind of taking things like a step at a time. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to make sure that we have as much of this like I don't
Going
know.
brick by brick, not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
building the
brick by
entire
brick.
building in one go.
Okay, so they don't have hair.
Why is that? Why is like hair rendering such an issue for DNF?
Well,
Like,
these
is there
ones
like
don't
something?
have hair because it's not mounted. I
Ah,
didn't
okay.
know
So
if the
they're
actors were going to have it mounted or not.
interesting. Okay.
Any idea with more info as far as difficulty scaling? Yeah, that's kind of something that Crispy just got it integrated into the game, and it works. We were able to. I created a quick test map for him, and we were able to make sure that it works. Difficulty scaling. The way I've been building my maps, and I've been trying to have the other level design folks build maps, is that it's supposed to be the hard difficulty. You are building hard now so that we can make it easier on ourselves, and then just turn off the, you know, like, oh, this encounter has, like, you know, like the casino, for example, the very base game as the casino is, that difficulty would definitely be like the step above hard. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm, mhm.
it is brutal. There is a
Yeah.
spot
Oh
like
god.
when you round the first corner toward like when you round, I guess I'm literally in the map right now. When you round this corner here and go through here, in the original build you seriously get like 8 dudes running around the corner at you trying to take you out if you just stand here and try to take them out one at a time. It is intense. And
It's
so
awful.
like I've been trying to have everybody build the maps as if this was a hard difficulty, so that when we go to make normal and having the difficulties integrated into the game is something that we got like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Mm.
So like actually being fully implemented, working and tested and everything. So now we can start going back and like, okay, well maybe on normal this encounter would have like 1 or 2 less enemies, you know.
In right around that corner, once you go forward, enemies will spawn right behind you in that little. It's awful.
Yeah, right. And we've completely
Mhm.
changed that here. All
Mhm. Bed versus the
Like,
game
yeah.
asks. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What?
I thought you were going to say something. My bad. Bed versus the game asks $1 million question. Will you take any ideas from DNF 2011?
very few. We don't really. I don't know. I don't want to say that in like a mean way. or necessarily
yeah.
a negative way, but
It's kind of a different game.
Exactly, it's a bit of a different game.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, asshole.
Still gotta figure out why the engine sometimes just decides to despawn people instead of actually allowing them to go through their animation, because there's nothing like special about that NPC compared to any of the other ones that like he's got something, you know, it's not like he doesn't have his death animation set. It's something that's like default in the actor.
Can't be like a memory budget thing, can it?
I suppose.
Rainbow Gem asks, Graves in Duke Cave sends you the night vision. There are multiple icons for a download symbol. Will Graves call you specific points and send upgrades like heat vision, zoom vision, etc.?
So Duke actually doesn't get the night vision in the Duke Cave. This has been I have flashbacks just having it brought up, but yeah. So Duke gets the night vision in the Dark Hotel. That's kind of how it was originally set up, and the way I've been able to determine that, again, it's kind of like here in Casino, where there's like parts left over from before. There's parts of Dark Hotel left over in Study that indicates that it was originally in Dark Hotel and then imported into Study instead of the other way around. But even to the point where they didn't finish actually porting it all the way over, so they don't have the Duke, the actual like trigger that gives you the goggles. But will Graves in the future call you and do those kinds of things? Yeah, most likely. We haven't 100% nailed down where you're gonna get all those things yet, but it will definitely be in like, or I shouldn't say definitely. It will most likely be in a similar manner.
Right on.
Much better.
The first one.
Amira asks, will alternative shooting modes be available immediately, or will the player be given them for completing missions? I believe that's just based on when you find the ammo, right? In the league.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like you can find Hollow Point immediately in the league for your deal.
Yeah.
New hardware.
So yeah,
I think
we
based
kinda
on
changed this area around all around where it's not as brutal as it was. And we also added some music here. This boss fight.
Right on.
I always thought this map was set up weird too, like loop around. That's weird.
Well, earlier he Liquid was talking about how it's like now kind of a hub and spoke design where like you're opening up different wings and turning on the fire suppression systems and stuff.
Yeah.
So are you
that's
going to be able
ultimately
to?
kind of the idea here.
So you're going to be able to put out more fires, basically.
Well, yeah, because as it is right now, as as we just showed there, you kind of just like walk through the fire after taking out the EDF soldier, or the EDF 09, So we want to make it to where, kind of like how in Penthouse B, you put out the fire that's kind of taken over the casino here, because ultimately, like, I'm not going to say you're going to come back to the Lady Killer, but it wouldn't make sense for Duke to just let the Lady Killer burn down on his way out. You know what I mean? I would think that, especially with like there still being people in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Duke is a hero first and foremost, and so like he's gonna like try to prevent what's going on too.
I like that. I like the idea of really playing at the fact that Duke is the fucking hero. He doesn't just leave people to fucking die, because God, was there a lot of that in 2011.
Yeah.
What, like attachments? Attachments could be cool.
Yeah,
That could
will you
be
be able-
cool. I don't think there's anything like that we have in mind just yet, or that we've really. I'll say I don't think we've talked about anything like that, but that could be cool.
Yeah. That take a lot of engineering work.
I
though, or
mean,
design
there is a 97 screenshot with a flashlight shotgun.
That's true.
Is that
Yeah.
98?
I was 97.
No, that's 97. Yeah, that's 97.
Then there's the 98 pistol that has like all like the barrel extension, the scope and shit. So
Right.
then
I
there
love
was
the 98 pistol.
I do too. It's kind of charming. There's also that recent interview with Alan Blum at Apogee who said like in 97 they were working on a crafting system. Like obviously just like proposal shit, but the idea that they were thinking in that direction like is very interesting to think about.
Really ahead of its time.
In most ways, yeah.
I mean, crafting in 1997?
Right.
Yeah, like,
Crazy.
you didn't see that outside of RPGs.
Right. I gotta figure out what I'm actually gonna do with these fires. I guess
mean, even
meant for there to
DNF.
be a wall here.
Maybe. Even DNF, like, predates Bioshock's, like, pipe dream minigame for hacking, It's like, it's kind of fucking wild.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a like a really nice polished trailer before the demo release?
Oh yeah, well, it's something we're actively working on.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, we want to get a nice trailer out for folks. Honestly, we've gone back and forth a little bit, and it's kind of gone back and forth with our opinions on a demo. Not whether or not there'll be one, just like a timing thing.
Right.
It might. It could
Don't
be
say anything you
used.
can't take back.
I know. Yes, we're working on a demo. I'll just completely wimp out. Yeah, we are working on a demo. We are working on a demo, but we are working on a trailer. I'm really hoping to have it out for this month's community update.
Sick. That's awesome to hear. Rainbow Gem asks, any ideas on Gus/Tim? Gus appears in Slick Willy in the trailer, make him have a cameo. I think the Gus showing him Slick Willy was just straight up for the trailer. I don't think you met him that early.
Yeah, I don't think we're.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I don't think you're gonna meet Gus that early, but we definitely have plans for Gus.
Right on. Who is Duke in your opinion? Is he an ordinary dude or a super soldier? I think we were discussing that earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's a super soldier, but he is a fucking beefcake, right? He's a ham.
I always did kind of headcanon it as like there was some genetic shit going on with him because like in there's the first level of episode 4 in Duke 3D where you see like all like the posters of like Ultimate Warrior and Duke's like biological like elements broken down into a chart. Like it did always make me think like, and did like the EDF like give him like a super soldier serum or something?
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
a fair point. And he is beefier than like everybody else you see.
Step right up and get some.
For sure. Ben versus Game, how long do you expect this to take? When it's done.
I won't even argue that. I'll just laugh.
Argue the fifth.
I need to flip that around.
I had mentioned this before, I think in like the suggestions channel, but like I do hope this game also, while also making Duke a hero, they also make like the surviving EDF just as badass as Duke, like able to like stand alongside him.
So I don't want to spoil
Hey,
anything.
Yep.
But
Don't
we
say anything.
we have recently been talking a lot about I don't know if it's not necessarily a lot about, but we did have a big discussion about I don't know how do I put this? A lot of Duke a lot of Duke Nukem 2011 ended up being like Duke is the badass, and he's just like the badass because he's the badass. Like he just walks up
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
people, and people are like, "Oh, you're the badass."
I can
Where
do nothing about this.
we really want to. We really want to like kind of how I talked about earlier. How about you'll like in the Las Vegas Boulevard, how we plan on having you like teaming up with other EDF soldiers. We really want to kind of bring that groundedness to Duke, to where he is interacting with the people he's saving more and is doing things more with those people. Not necessarily
Mhm.
like, we're not gonna like have a scene about him, down to lunch or something like that. But you know what I mean? Like we do want more interaction with the other people that are around, and some of that is definitely going to include like the showcasing of other people that are in Duke's world that aren't just Duke.
Right. No, I love that.
I think that's a good way to frame that and put that.
It establishes the stakes, right? Because like if these, if all these people who can fight just as hard as Duke Nukem getting their asses kicked, then like, yeah, like Duke Nukem's heroic status is that much more impactful. Because it's like, oh man, like he is surviving all this shit while all these, like total, and I know this term's overused, badasses are just getting like decimated. Like that will make Duke's heroic nature more meaningful.
And I feel like make the world feel more grounded. It doesn't
Totally,
just feel
yeah.
like just Duke is the only, like everyone is, kind of like someone said earlier, making sure that everyone doesn't seem absolutely completely helpless. Like,
Yes.
people actually care about what's going on. And,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a theme park, it's an actual world.
Yeah. There we go. So I hate to do this to you guys. I need like 15 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
So I guess I can put up like, yeah, I'll play one of the videos here that we worked on, and then like I said, I just need like 15 minutes or so.
All good.
Gotta handle something for work.
Yeah, man.
I need to actually mute myself because I have breakfast or lunch on my table I have not touched since the stream started because I've been talking nonstop.
No, I appreciate you your presence and the conversation.
Yeah, no worries. It's my pleasure. I mean, I've been wanting to talk about this show with people for, ever. I bug my friends about fucking Duke shit all the time. They're like, "What are you talking about? Why are you still talking about this?" So it's good to talk about it in a space where it's like, I'm riffing off other people and they're riffing on what I'm saying. That's really cool. Right.
I feel that none of your friends knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone I talk to about Duke Nukem has just no clue what the hell I'm talking.
Like what? The fucking there's a video game called Duke Nukem? The hell are you talking about?
Like it's from the 90s.
Like Doom? No Doom.
Half of them don't even know Doom.
Oh God.
My generation kind of sucks.
Well, shit, man. I mean, like I've tried playing Fortnite and stuff, and like that game is just like so overwhelming in its systems and presentations that like it is.
Oh God.
I get paralysis playing it because I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then like some 13-year-old is just like fucking smoking me because I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just like, how is your brain comprehending all this information?
Oh, that I've never related to anything more in my whole entire life. I do not understand Fortnite at all, and I've watched gameplay. I've tried to play it on console and on PC, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Like the minute you get the grip on things, there's like 17 other systems that pop up in the next patch, and it's like, I need this game to just like be encased in amber for like a week so I can catch up to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to mute myself and I'm going to mute Discord for now. I'm just going to play this video in the background and I will be back Hopefully very soon.
All good.
Like I said,
I'm
hopefully
probably
like
going.
15 minutes.
Sounds good. I'm going here.
There we go. Now we are. Okay, yeah, sorry about that, everybody. You know, just had to work through some IT-related problems. Somebody needed a certificate added back onto their Mac, so
Oh, jeez.
fun stuff.
Ooh.
And I am the keeper of the MacBooks in our company at this point. So,
Oh, God.
honestly, it's introduced me to the environment in a really great way, and I really enjoy them. Like, I think that they're honestly very user friendly, and there's a lot of like really neat things about them.
The most I've messed with a Mac is I have a Power Mac from 1995 sitting next to me that I messed with, and it's neat and interesting, but it's also the most finicky fucking thing I've ever worked with.
That's cool though.
Yeah. Took me a lot of effort getting that thing restored. Holy shit. So what are we looking at here?
So I am just kind of trying to expand upon this area over here. Trying to flesh out more of this area before I add and build the little security gated area over here somewhere. I wonder if we have any like roulette wheels or anything like that. I think all this
There's
stuff
a
is...
roulette wheel model. It's I don't think there's one in the map, but there's a model of it. Should be able to find it.
It's not decals, it's a decoration. Oops.
Oh, I gotta put my dog out.
My dog's been barking all day. I have no idea what's going on out there.
Oh, it'd be cool
I
to
don't know
put
where my cats are.
a couple pool tables over here, maybe. Are there pool tables in casinos? Maybe not. Ah, here's a roulette wheel.
I like how oddly finished the video poker is in this game.
And how it's literally just straight ported over to well, they just get straight ported over to Duke 2011 too.
I think
Oh,
so, yeah.
they're in 2011. I haven't got that far yet.
They're just like the I don't know if you I don't remember if you can use them. I'm pretty sure you can.
They're ego boosts.
Yeah. What was it called? Just see roulette wheel. I guess it might not show up in here, huh? Yeah, those don't show up in here.
I agree, Fonz. I do like how the slot machines actually give out money.
Yeah. Trying to
that's
figure
cool.
out what to do with money, I think, is going to be an interesting thing we have to try to tackle. I don't exactly know how we're going to do that yet, admittedly. Okay, that's...
Yeah, that'll be a challenge to kind of justify the existence of money outside of like easy event machines, right?
Right. We've talked about maybe... so we do have this... There's a grab bag machine, which is going to be like the equipment machine for multiplayer.
Mhm.
Well, we don't want to necessarily just add like a vending machine you can buy guns from, because that sounds kind of weird and not really in place. It might be
How do you
cool
balance
to make
that?
it like... Yeah, exactly.
That's more postal.
Yeah.
That's more postal.
So what we might do is make it like some kind of machine where you can get like certain like upgrades from, or certain things from, maybe like special ammunitions, or like very few, like a handful of things. We're not too sure though. That would be that kind of thing.
Special ammunition in a sense of something like explosive ammunition?
So like the shotgun. Oh, hey, here's a roulette table. They are in the game.
Hey, look at that.
Perfect.
Have you looked at maybe Kingpin for how like the way they did that in their gameplay, like
Oh, I've
balancing out like
never
the
played that.
ponomatics and stuff?
I've never
I
played that.
would
Give it a go.
recommend for this specific scenario, maybe playing that and looking at how they did it, because I remember the way they used money in that game was really interesting, actually.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Kingpin before actually.
It's janky and kind of fucked up, but like I find it really charming and like honestly really cool. And it's got Victor Anatov as art director, so it looks really fucking neat.
The casino's on fire. I better play some roulette.
Priorities, right?
Yeah, Fonz has his priorities straight. He's just gonna play some roulette while the building burns down.
Oh yeah, there's this like. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to clear my. You gotta be self-aware that I'm on microphone. There's like this weird bench over here that's in the game, but it's not actually like rendered.
Huh. It's weird.
Could go pay an NPC to find you something. That could be that could be interesting. Or maybe even have it to where the NPCs are kind of like they are in Half-Life 2, where they like randomly help out Duke as they just run upon him on his path.
Hmm.
I feel like it would be oddly funny to see like just a normal guy pull out a health pack out of nowhere.
Yeah, but if it was like a first aid kit, it wouldn't feel that weird.
Actually, true. Most people do have first aid kits in their house.
Right. I mean, that's like adulting 101 is buying your first aid kit.
Yeah, there's a first aid kit in this house somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this little mesh here is below the ground. I really wonder what it's supposed to be. I mean, it's just supposed to be a bench of some sort, but it's just interesting that it's not actually here. I wonder if it, like whatever it was originally textured as doesn't exist anymore. Let me place this roulette wheel where I kind of want it here, and then we'll play with that a little more. So to be rotated because that's where the player plays from.
Rainbow in chat says I think NPCs should have like makeshift weapons, like they grab chairs and stuff and whack snatchers with them or fly swatters.
That could be fun.
I can see that being something.
Does the AI support that kind of stuff?
Yeah, weapons and stuff.
Okay,
Absolutely,
interesting.
yeah. I can show you how all that works. We can go over how all that works. It's really customizable. Actually, we'll break off from Casino just for a second, and I'll show you some of the stuff I've been doing on Booty Island. I actually, even though pig cops aren't completely working in the game, I have made makeshift pig cops out of EDF SWAT, and it's pretty easy. So I can show you how you really easily can just customize their weapons and stuff like that. It's not 100% jank free yet, but we'll eventually get pigs working anyway. So they're partially working. If you've seen the AI tests for the bots, those use the big cops. So it is something that we're working on. But yeah.
I think the only test map I remember relating to AI is joining a multiplayer server, and the map was like the map with 4 EDF officers with the deagle. I think it was about skins, since it was just 4 of them sitting in a single room with some weird texture.
Yeah, it's one of the smaller boxed maps. It's just like the small single room entity. Yeah.
They were just in the map cycle on the MP server, I think, by default. Rainbow in chat says, wasn't there Elvis in the mast of the enemy boat or something?
It's not Elvis. It's in. Let me get rid of that so it's not taking up all the screen. Sorry. It's not Elvis. It's I'll show you that though too. It's like this weird flying pig thing.
What?
You know, so
How's that
like
my?
as far as like the editor being unruly,
How's that?
like look how easy it is to just kind of like drag and drop stuff and like bring stuff over and like, you know. Ah, I'm getting a phone call.
I've found placing stuff in the editor relatively easy, moving them around.
Will Elvis talk? Oh wait, he's on the phone. My bad.
I don't know if he has his muted.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
All good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so I added the like roulette table over here. Let's see how this looks in the new lighting. I wanted to make him sleep attacking too, because it came out of the helicopter I added here, but it won't actually let me set him to sleep attack. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I gotta add some hair to those guys still. That looks okay. You can't really see the poker chip, so I might have to add like some kind of something over to there. This is all still pretty dark, so that's fine. These should be giving off some kind of light too.
Oribo Jim asks, why is there an EDF carrier crash into the roof?
Because the EDF are attacking, and so what my thought about it is that there was already this hole. So the hole, honestly, is going to be from one of the missile attacks that are going on, or something else. And so my thought was that basically the EDF are attacking. The EDF are attacking because they're infected by this parasite, right? Well, some of these people, like especially when they're initially attacked by, or taken over by the parasite, they're not. I don't think they're necessarily going to know that they're infected. You know what I mean? So basically, this pilot was infected by the parasite, and then lost control of the helicopter. It crashed into the casino here, because this was already here. I didn't add this hole, but I did add the copter. And so that was just supposed to be the pilot. This guy over here, maybe was one of the guys who was in it as well. And then he just kind of crawled over to here and then slumped over and died. Originally, actually, the way I had set it, we were talking early on about putting a guy over here that was like kind of underneath this little crushed door, so we could introduce the shield a little earlier than somewhere randomly in Chapter 2, and it felt more natural. I love the Quake 2 Vertex skeletal animation still left over sometimes. You can really see it on the thumb. And the
Oh yeah,
fingers,
I
how
can see
they're
that
all
swimming.
just, like, all wiggly, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That reminds me of Finn.
Will I add the force field around the lady killer? I don't think so. Because this is, yeah, I don't think so.
Look at the jetpack into the stratosphere, right?
I believe that's what I believe that's the case.
Okay.
Okay, this looks that's coming around all right though. And I know, it seems kind of just like slow going and stuff like that, and that's because, well, I mean, sometimes it kind of is, like you just kind of like. It's like slowly painting it and putting it all together, just like piecing stuff,
That's game development, baby.
by bit. Yep. And so, like, honestly, I like this roulette table. I'll probably just duplicate it. Oh, I missed that part, but that's okay. Actually, I'll just delete that.
Yeah, I remember Jem saying that you can't beat the stratosphere with the jetpack as is. I think that's because there's a bug. I think Future in the Duke 4 Discord fixed that. So the jetpack does not go through field as fast, and you can actually beat it now.
Yeah, I think everything in general doesn't go through the stuff as fast. That's why the what's it called? The night vision goggles are usable now too.
Okay, because my god, those go through batteries super fast in
Yeah,
League.
no, it's much better now. Okay, something bad's happening. I should not. We'll get rid of these.
Isn't that the roulette table for the robo tender?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that the roulette table for the robo tender?
Oh, from
Like-
like the early screenshots? It might be, yeah.
No, the robo tender in the files.
I mean, it is the roulette table from the files. Is it supposed to have a robo tender? Perhaps. Is there
No, I mean,
here as well somewhere?
the roulette table and the robo tender are just like kind of right next to each other, and it seems like they're connected.
You're roboting out hard. It's kind of hard to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone is kind of garbage.
It's okay. I mean, if there's something like, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know where he is. I could add him, I guess. We don't. There aren't any over here. I pulled this from over here.
No, I know. I just the roulette table and the row kind of share a similar kind of low poly look, so they kind of look like they're supposed to be connected.
Oh, you mean they're similar in polygons? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My phone likes to get really shitty with internet sometimes, so.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have that. It's okay. Because the players actually spin the wheel, right? Not the dealer. Wouldn't make sense for the dealer to spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the player puts the ball in, it's them that spins it, I think.
Ask me anything about gambling.
Finding batteries is a hassle for sure. So that's something else we kind of like, at least in like Dark Hotel, the application of stuff like that. And in that level, what we've done is we've gone and just made it so some of the NPCs, like, so some of the snatch that you take out, drop it. Not maybe the most realistic, but right now it's kind of like a fix for that. Maybe I know that there are some spots. Oh, in real life, the dealer does spin it. Oh, okay.
Oh, they do spin it.
Okay. So
I remember that now. I remember.
Okay. Like I said, I've never been to a casino, so I'm not too sure. So I had it.
I've never been to a casino either. But I remember now because I watched a TV show when I was going to bed at 2 a.m. that had the wheel, and the dealer does spin it.
All I know about casino games is from James Bond movies.
I know,
Same.
I know about gambling, but that's just because I played the like DS Mario minigame that's Luigi trying to poker you.
Oh God.
I forgot about that.
I still play it from time to time because I have the Nintendo DS in my drawer right now.
I don't have my DS anymore. I miss my DS.
I have
It's a good little thing.
almost all of the Nintendo handhelds, including like I have a Game Boy Light. I have a 20th anniversary Game Boy Micro, like Super Mario's 20th anniversary birthday or 20th birthday.
What Nintendo handhelds are you missing then?
I don't have the original like old school DMG. I don't have an SP101. And I don't have a new 2DS XL.
I have the only Nintendo handhelds,
including the Virtual Boy.
I have it currently is like a Nintendo Switch Lite and a Nintendo DSi XL.
Okay. I mean, honestly though, you can get a lot done with just those two things though. Like the homebrew scene on like the DSi, or even if you can get like just a baseline 3DS, if you can get just like a normal 3DS, you can emulate almost every like Nintendo platform on it.
Get an OG Xbox. I think you can like, or better yet, get a Series X and make it so you can run PS2 games on it. I believe it can.
That stuff's really cool, but the thing about the DS is that it's handheld, so you can just take it everywhere. That's why I personally really dig it.
That reminds me of what about the Switch
or Vita?
Well, I love my Vita, but definitely a gem.
You modified
the
Vita
Switch
is
is nice
tall hell.
too, but it's still at a spot in its life to where I don't necessarily want to homebrew my Switch.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo, I think, will ban you.
They will literally make your Switch unusable if you homebrew it.
Caught with it, yeah.
So, yeah, Vita is like I think powerful than the 3DS. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
It's just far more powerful, yeah.
But that's another thing. Is same thing kind of with the Switch. I just don't want to homebrew my Vita.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of handhelds, Duke Nukem Forever is playable on the Steam Deck.
Oh. Yeah. Good plug. I'm just gonna save this as it
I
is, and we'll check out.
Oh, now I remember. I was gonna say, wasn't it one of the Animal Crossing games on handheld that had a NES emulator? And it was. Oh wait, no, it was
No, it's
GameCube,
just the
wasn't it?
original.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just the
GameCube.
original one. Yeah, GameCube. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had these like 4 NESs that had separate games on.
There was more. There
Oh, yeah,
was
there
more
a
in
ton.
the files, and there was Japan-specific ones too.
What did I say we
Yeah,
were
but
gonna
like,
check out?
I think I think you talked about telling us about how the AI worked after we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Booty Island. Yeah.
Oh, I found a version of I found a thing for Earth Siege 2 that auto downloads a version of Windows 95 for DOSBox and makes it run.
Hell yeah.
So mess with it.
Awesome. Speaking of consoles, I would really love for someone, once the restoration project is finished, to try to port it to like the Dreamcast or something. Because
Okay.
there's something about the DNF that screams Dreamcast
How about
to
OG
me.
Xbox?
That's
Yeah,
what I was
OG
gonna say.
Xbox.
I would unironically love to play this game on the original Xbox.
Yeah, and like throwing a port of like Duke Nukem 3D in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Doom 3
Ha-
port.
have the Duke Nukem Forever Balls of Steel edition. It just has a Duke Nukem 3D port. That's it.
All you need.
Okay. So.
Yeah,
While you're
Fonz,
at,
it's
just
probably
throw in the
doable. It probably
side
run like
scrollers.
shit. Sorry?
No, it's also just along with 3D, just throwing the side scrollers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Admittedly, I agree. I don't think DNF 01 would run that well when you see how Half-Life 1 runs on that thing.
Yeah, but man, it'd be funny. It'd be really funny.
Like, oh man, I can't wait to play Duke Nukem Forever 2001 at 5 FPS on my Dreamcast.
You could try on PlayStation 2, but
Did it remind you of like Doom?
Oh
on
no,
Super
it would
Nintendo?
absolutely run.
Vomit-inducing it was. Just
It would absolutely run on PS2 because Half-Life 1 runs very smoothly on that thing.
Yeah. Liquid, what was that about a game that made you almost motion sick?
Doom 1, like the original Doom on Super Nintendo, and how just like
Oh,
frame it is,
yeah.
and how just, like, awful the controls are.
Oh,
like, I
God,
get
that
it.
is
If it's
such a
all you had, it's all you had. But
yeah.
yuck.
That port is generally fascinating, though. Like its whole history.
Have you heard of what the guy who made it did like released recently too?
yeah, he released the source for it.
I'm sorry.
I believe
No. He released like a version of Quake on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that. He also
That shit's
was
so cool.
He was a developer on the Bleem, PSX emulator, PlayStation emulator.
That name sounds like it's like a Justin Roiland creation. The Bleem.
I gotta believe over here.
Exactly.
Yeah, Doom SNES. You ever heard? Did you know like Half-Life 2 was released on the original Xbox?
Oh yeah. And
Oh, I know of that. I played it on original hardware, like I think a few years ago.
Yeah, it's even worse if you play on 360 though.
Vaughn says,
I think
"Oh,
it's
jeez,
unplayable on
Rex, it's the bleep."
Stores are a bit jank still.
Unless you have the orange box.
Yeah.
I mean, the orange box is the port of Half-Life 2 on the 360.
Yeah, so get that instead if you don't have an OG Xbox. Only if you don't have an OG Xbox.
I mean, admittedly, if you have a 360, it would just be better to get Half-Life 2 on there because it runs better.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what are we looking at here?
What I'm trying to get to is the examples of the pig cops working and stuff like that, and
Oh,
showing
sick, okay.
how
mount
easy it
weapons
is
to
to kind
them?
of just configure that within Dukan.
Nice, okay.
Oh, Des in chat. Hi, Des.
Oh, hey, Des.
Hello.
Well, this is actually a different version of the map.
This map still looks stunning.
Yeah, especially when all the
this
rain
one
stuff
looks
is
really
working.
Oh yeah, I've seen the rain stuff working on that. It's So good.
It's genuinely beautiful.
Some of the best rain kind of stuff I've ever seen in the video game.
Yeah, it's up there. It's there's a specific mood like when Restoration Project is finished, the fucking video game rain Twitter account will be supplied with posts for like a fucking month.
Yeah, the Rain as FedEx Twitter account is gonna go insane.
Yeah. Meat's back on the
I
menu,
mean,
boys.
I feel like we both know the FPS FedEx Twitter account is also just gonna go insane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There was a lot of stuff in this game that's just genuinely pretty.
I mean, like the opening in the penthouse where you just hear like the rainstorm and the fucking the bomb siren, all that stuff. Like that is so. Like when I think of DNF 2011, that game has no aesthetic to me. It has no style, has no grace, etc., etc., etc. But like it just there's no art to it. There's no aesthetic to it. This game, being completely unfinished, has more aesthetic to it than the entirety of the finished product.
I remember like playing the League for the first time and then getting into the penthouse. I think at the high stakes bit when you walk after the burning gets extinguished and you go into the big room, and the window breaks as the rainstorm hits in the building. Shit.
Yeah, like oh, just looks so good. Oh, hey, there he is.
Yeah, so I just have to turn off the randomized face textures because that still bugs that bug out. But we have working pig cops with that'll actually chase you and stuff like that. So it's unfortunately still not the actual pig cop like itself, like the actual AI for it. It's again just a SWAT member with the AI kind of painted over it, or kind of the mesh painted over it. But you can really easily customize all the pawns and stuff like that within the the creator. All the because we got these guys up here. We're gonna try to do some. Whoop! Didn't want to turn off God mode. We're going to try to do some different stuff with these guys up here, so just to kind of mark them for myself, I made them painted EDF with pistols for now. But again, it's just really easy to customize, you know, all these guys have assault rifles and stuff.
You guys should have the barrel-headed pig cop as a Easter egg.
It's really impressive though, damn. Like
You
even
know
though
the
it's
beta
unfinished, that's
Yeah, the beta of Superman 64 is actually way better than the final product.
Oh yeah.
I heard like they restarted the whole entire project literally a month before release, which kind of explains how it turned out.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were asking about the thing that comes in here. So for some reason there's this trigger event right here that causes all this to go off, and we can get a good look at this guy. Come on. There.
Yeah, DNF had no identity, Ben. You're absolutely right. Or DNF
Yeah,
2011,
because it didn't have any identity because it wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. It had the identity of a city interactive FPS, but like a really bad one.
So the little buddy that spawns is just a buddy bot with a pig cop strapped to the back of it.
Oh wow.
And he just casually...
Here he comes.
disappears into this wall.
That's kind of
It's also
adorable.
interesting.
I love it.
They carved out this little back piece for some reason. I don't know what's going on back here. Maybe it was an accident, but
Speaking of
a lot of games have that kind of stuff where they carve out a space and then never use it for anything.
Well, it's interesting because if I load older versions of this map, it doesn't have it.
Huh.
No.
Maybe they were planning something there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm now playing Demon G Drive.
Or what exactly?
Something.
When it comes to 2011 being a game that no one was trying to be, I got very confused at the start because of the gym area where you just break a vent in it, and it doesn't even tell you till you just notice it's there.
Okay, so as far as these actors go, Like I said, it's all pretty simple. So, like, we open up the properties here, and so in order to make this guy, I just I need to do this for you guys. Open this back up for you. Oh, and I need to do two things here. I need to open up that, and then I also need to create.
We're talking about DNF could be restructured. I believe it. I'm just saying that the base game, the game that came out of the box, was just, for me at least, just a miserable experience.
2011 can definitely be restructured, but it's going to take some time considering the level editor thing was just made front end.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see Future's final mod. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but the stuff that he's doing with DNF 2011, I'm definitely interested in.
Oh, the stuff I've seen from him is great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I might buy 2011 if something interesting comes out.
About to say,
Otherwise, I'm not going to buy it.
Otherwise, yeah, you don't need to do that to yourself.
I guess
I don't need to. I already know it's terrible. I don't need to confirm it. Waste of my money.
I have bought DNF 2011 every time I play the start of the game. I genuinely cringe.
I hate making you look at yourself for a second, but just for a brief second. Okay, because now I can show you the properties window. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So, basically, in order to spawn these guys, it's really simple. You just go to your rendering actors, you go to your pawns, and then you go.
I recognize this menu.
And so these guys are all just under here. So if I open up, I believe it's Grunt. We have these pig cops. The pig cops don't work. Interestingly, the lizard troopers work just fine. But the pig cops don't. But in order to create these dudes, I just create EDF grunts and grunt squat and EDF soldier. Right click, place an EDF soldier. So we have this EDF soldier right here. Now, what we can really easily do is just go into display and go into mesh. It brings up all my different meshes here. Go down to my pig cap, boom.
Holy shit.
Use, boom. Now he's a pig cop. And then, so the normal EDF SWAT, they spawn with assault rifles. So instead, I want this guy to have a shotgun. I get to fumble around for a second, but again, it's just remembering what menu it's in and then setting it. So it's not in pawn, not in human NPC. See if I can turn this off to prevent them from having the weird pink faces. I don't remember off the top of my head. Here we go, weapon info. So it's just under AI startup. Weapon info. Change this M16 to shotgun. And I mean, you can even go so far as to just double check what the name of it is here. Yeah. Do something ignorant like give this one an RPG.
That sounds like a terrible idea. I love it. Question mark? What?
Let me just this off, so you can't see yourselves anymore.
Damn it.
Yep. Now they don't have the pink stuff all over their faces, and I fixed that.
Nice.
And this one has a freaking RPG. Oh, can he not fire it though? Whoop.
Can NPCs fire RPGs?
I swear I saw something that it still had its the pig cop had its attributes in the mesh, but it may not be able to actually fire it, I guess.
I don't think I've ever seen an NPC in the game with an RPG. Is there?
I don't know. He kind of holds it right.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
Oh, maybe it's because I gave him shotgun bullets and no RPG rounds. Hang on.
Oh no!
That's probably why. Yeah.
I'll do it. There's your problem.
Ammo count. No. Should be right. I mean, it also may just be possible that they can't actually use the RPG. You know, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But...
Wait, isn't there an NPC with an RPG on this level or on the? It's in
Definitely
one of the
not on this
casino levels. Oh no, it's the dragon level. There's an NPC with an RPG, and he fires at you with the RPG.
Okay, we'll
It
fix
takes
that.
out the road, right?
Yeah, it's in. Oh god, what's the? I don't remember the name of it. It's in the casino with the dragon. I don't know, maybe just he can't fire it. I wasn't trained for this. There's no way he's gonna say backblast area
He
clear.
had shotguns. He had shotguns. He has rockets. Yeah, so it is giving him the right ammunition. They just can't fire it. Yeah.
Where's that EDF 209 on that level? That
There
might
is
be an
EDF
EDF 209.
There is a 209 on that level.
That might be what I'm thinking of. They don't have. Do they have rockets?
I don't think so.
No, they have dual chain guns.
Chain
and,
guns,
one
yeah.
thing.
I swear there's something on that level that shoots explosives at you.
There is. You're absolutely right.
It's like
I don't think it's the EDF 209.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
That was not a smooth landing.
Ian and AI EDF heavy weps big.
Wait, what was
Oh, are you guys gonna do the ending robot fight thing? On the
I don't think
mothership?
they're ready to comment on that yet.
Oh, fair.
Oh, yeah. No, we're definitely not late to comment about anything that late in the game. I'm assuming you're referencing the big, like,
Yeah, and like the fake city on the mothership.
Yep. Is this too what I think it did, or is this still too big?
I find it really interesting that they used green screen for this game. Or not green screen, mocap.
Mocap is pretty big at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. I thought you were saying that because you were surprised that it was being used. My bad. wonder when performance capture started becoming the norm. Probably PS3 360 era, I want to say.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
I know they're in one of the Onimusha games, they motion captured a horse.
That's pretty cool.
That must have been annoying.
I mean, right?
I mean, getting a horse to wear that mocap thing.
There's definitely
Mm.
pictures of it.
That's probably too high.
I want to look that up.
48. So in here, I'm trying to design a little like small bar
Oh.
you can kind of go to. It's just kind of like here.
Interesting.
Because the actual Treasure Island, basically how all this is set up, which is what this is based off of, is this is a big restaurant, and then this is part of the casino, and this is part of the casino, and then this is like a big. Currently, it is a big like Avengers security center or something like that, or shield center or something. And then this is obviously the hotel itself.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to add an alternative path, and then also alternatively here a little like other extra section for you to go to, because this up here is how you activate the controls to actually activate this entire event. Ideally, you're going to be able to climb up this, and you're going to be able to come up through here, just kind of giving alternative paths for the player to approach a situation.
Cool.
Cool. These horses look very uncomfortable in these mocap suits.
Yeah, that looks all right. Definitely probably want to be one more longer, maybe. Maybe one more longer is too long.
When one more longer is too long, use 1 point or use 0.9.
No, actually, I think that looks okay. I guess it would make sense that the bar basically goes to the door.
Yeah. I fucked up. Is anyone playing Tribes Ascend right now?
Did anything
It's
come
about
out
that time
between
of day.
2002 to 2005 that compares to this? Deus Ex, but not really.
Invisible War was heavily compromised. Yeah, that's a good question, honestly.
I feel like
Chrome, maybe.
What's that?
Anyone play Chrome?
No.
It was like a really bad, janky FPS RPG. Actually, had John St. John as the main character.
Huh.
It was the first game that the Dying Light devs ever did, which is why their engine is called a Chrome engine. And it kind of did a lot of the FPS RPG stuff that DNF was doing, but much shittier.
I just realized I at some point accidentally turned my camera on pointing at my desk.
Nice.
Oh.
I don't know how I did that. Pure skill. Okay. I'm gonna play the only battle royale I actually enjoy.
Maybe a little longer.
And maybe I'll actually go outside and have a life. Who knows? Probably not. Okay.
I think I asked this earlier, but I think it kind of got lost in conversation. But what's the team's plan with Elvis? Has there been any thoughts on that? Or is that can't speak of that? That's this time.
I think. Let me double check something. I've got 3 computers sitting around me. Oh, I can't.
Oh yeah.
From here, hang on. My main desktop got fried while I was compiling Duke one afternoon.
Oh
so
shit!
I am now just using a laptop, but I've also got a work laptop here. I can really quickly poke into my documents really quick to double check something. Because you're talking about the pig that helps repair the
Yeah.
the vehicle.
Friendly pig
Yeah,
cop,
and
yeah.
he's wasn't he also supposed to ride a motorcycle? Isn't there a pig cop in one of the chase levels on a motorcycle? I know there's a pig cop somewhere on a motorcycle. I have a screenshot of it somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah. There's definitely implication that Elvis was supposed to like follow you through at least a chunk of the game.
I know we have a character sheet. I'm looking for it.
Is that not a deleted channel? Yes, that was in a deleted channel. Hate the Duke Nukem Forever 2001 subreddit like completely changed 3 times and deleted a bunch of the channels. I lost a bunch of screenshots that way.
That sucks.
Wait, what's that?
Yeah, there's the Duke Nukem Forever 2001 Discord server like changed their channels like 3 times and deleted a bunch of the channels. Yeah. So I lost a bunch of screenshots and shit. And I had a screenshot of a pig. No,
the old country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have plans for Elvis. Sorry, I'm sorry not to cut you off. I'm sorry. I was just digging through stuff. We do have we do have plans for Elvis. He is going to be still used to some degree in the manner in which he was. But I think that some things may have changed.
Okay, cool.
I know there's some level with a pig cop on a motorcycle. And I can't remember what it is. And I'm doing something else, so I can't look through the levels. Angry.
Ben asks, will missing enemies be added, like the commander?
We've talked about some of that. Some of that stuff, the thing is that since those guys aren't really part of this invasion, we wouldn't necessarily see some of them. We have talked about it, though. We most likely we'll be adding different variants of like the pigs. So we'll have like a couple different other ways for you to like encounter like this game's equivalent of like an enforcer from Duke 3D. Um, I think we have some concepts for enemies that are similar to like are the assault commanders what they're called? The guys who used to
Yeah.
sit on the floating discs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe we have some plans for characters that are similar to that, but nothing is set. Nothing is set.
Okay. Personally, I think that's a wise choice because DNF 2011 relied so heavily on the old Duke 3D BC area that it just was really fucking boring, and it just felt like why does this exist? You know what I mean? It's like you're not doing anything new with these aliens. It's just the same aliens again.
Right. Yeah, and like as cool as they are, and as much as it's like, I'll admit, like even when I first tried the first night of me playing the leak, I was like, where the hell are the aliens? Like, where's all my alien ass kicking? You know. But the more I play, the more I play it, the more it just feels right not to have them. Like it's kind of refreshing to have something different.
I think the only argument I could see for including them is like similar to like how maybe using the list troopers sparingly, like almost as if they're remnants of the old force that are just hid out very successfully for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
For,
as in terms of like main enemies, yeah, like it's better to have an enemy as original that fits that archetype that is more interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the concept art of the different like classes of aliens? Isn't that cool? Just like the different classes of alien concept art. What is that? What is that like 1999? 2000?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like they have like the different forms of like the snatchers and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. There are different classes of gray aliens, right? There's concept art of that, and I think it's really
there's
cool.
like completely different variations of them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that stuff's
Yeah.
really cool, but I also kind of wonder if it's kind of similar to our bombshell art, where it's not necessarily they were supposed to be different ones. They were just testing like ideas for different shapes and sizes and like variations of what could be.
Sure,
I definitely think it's really cool though. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. It's definitely also interesting to kind of like speculate on that kind of stuff, right? Because it is like, I mean, yeah, like it could be interpreted as like this is something that like they really meant for the player to like encounter, you know, and they just didn't get that far in what we have here.
If Elvis is going to be used, what will happen to the Hadiji cab, the Total Recall reference in the first level of Slick Willy? I think I probably mispronounced that. Haji, I think
it's Haji.
Yeah, Haji.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how that'll be utilized. It might honestly. What makes I can't so I don't want to. This isn't necessarily what's going to be, but it would make sense to me to make to go full circle and like make it a Total Recall reference in the sense that like somehow the driver of the Haji cab gets like messed up, and then like Duke has to like pull him out, and then it breaks down, and then that's why Orson or Elvis takes over driving the cab.
Yeah, isn't there a cab version of the Total Recall guy too? Like there's two versions. There's the Pimpmobile and the cab version.
I should rewatch Total Recall.
I just watched it for the first time recently. It was a lot of fun.
It's a fantastic movie.
Great. It's great.
I might have to watch that movie. I've never seen it.
It's really, really good. I haven't watched it in I think like a few years.
Yeah, because the other thing about getting to the Slick Willy, there's an entire sequence that we plan on fleshing out that is leading up from the boxing arena to the Slick Willy.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So that would be an opportunity to where we could include something like the Ajib Cab. That's probably gonna be too big.
This is a weird question. It's kind of completely self-indulgent of me to ask, but one of my favorite things from a lot of old games is that it would sometimes like straight up just reference the materials that they were pulling from, like in the back of the manual and stuff. I know Red Baron did that. They straight up said like, here's the movies we watched, here's the books we read, here's like documentaries we watched to like learn about World War One aviation and shit. And I think it would be neat, especially because like if like someone who is new to Duke Nukem was to play this, even though that might be a rarity, like to kind of get them into the mood for what DNF stands for, like like almost like a reading list,
A reference sheet, yeah.
Yeah, like completely like outside the realm of like the actual game development, but like I think it would be neat to see like here's the things we were inspired by, even if it was like a mod DB update or something. I think that'd be neat.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but probably like much later development because you also don't want to do that and have someone be like, "Oh, well, you took the story twist from this." You know what I mean?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
we just
that might
we just do something
your
and
hands.
get a Simpsons did it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Simpsons didn't.
Is Q going to be used? Maybe it's a companion for the first part of Area 51, Rainbow Gem asks, and links to a 1998 Paul Richards art.
That is
Oh, yeah,
that's a
Q.
cool screenshot reference. I know what you're linking to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we're down. We're not really that far into the story to be nailing down those kinds of like one-off specific characters.
Yeah.
Need to add some lights to here. And find something that could be like a bar top. I guess I should probably make this double wide so it doesn't look as anemic.
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Howdy.
Yeah, it's Zentrix from.
Oh. Hey, man.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah,
This is one of our other devs.
People.
Hey.
Hello. Just having a chat or.
Yeah,
something?
we're just
kind of hanging out.
Yep. I'm just working on some stuff in Ducad, and we're just kind of chatting.
Right on.
Oh.
For the purposes of the archive, could you both like kind of state your roles in the project itself overall?
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, I'm a developer. I'm a programmer in C++, and I'm doing something that's not really interesting. Just handling the crash logs so that we can get an email if you choose to send it to the coders. That's what I'm doing.
Right on. I mean, hey, that's still important stuff. That's still game development.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
so
well-
you're re-implementing the send an email to a coders thing?
Yep.
Yeah, and trust me, dude. One second. Otacon, is it okay if I give some details on my workload?
Yeah. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the source code is shitty, man. Like it's like the part on which I'm working is basically using Unreal Engine 1 functions and some Windows API functions, which it's sus by today's standards. What I need to do is like I dived so deep into the Windows API networking stuff that I actually need to enumerate the available interfaces and then choose one to make a DNS request, because there is a function. If you can just Google it if you want, get host by name in Windows API, which does DNS request, but only gets the IPv4, not the email, not the address to handle emails, basically. You get the A register of the DNS record, but not the MX register. This is basically what's going on. And I need to get the MX register because shit gets pretty not good.
Damn. That's a hell of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, love the hustle. Really appreciate the dedication of trying to get that sorted out and figured out. Like I said to you, honestly, like when it was brought up, I was like, man, that sounds like it's a lofty goal and task, but you definitely sound like you're still going in the right direction and have a great idea of what's going on. So definitely appreciate the hard work on that still.
Oh, this is actually wonderful to hear, Otacon. I didn't really work on it in the past days, and integrating it is gonna be a pain, definitely,
right?
Because there are some redefinition issues that pop up when you do basically another include, which I'll need to sort out. It's confusing, but I don't think it should be too difficult, and Zombie has already an idea on how to fix that.
Awesome.
And oh, by the way, now I am working in a separate project, in a separate Visual Studio project, just to get the DNS working, and then I'm working on the integration, just an FYI.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes sense.
The thing that worries me about those systems is, I wonder if those things were secure.
Oh yeah, trust me, they are not. I put
That
a
shit's
quick look
wide
into
open.
it. Man, there is like when the mutex, basically what acts like a red light for the threads not to. I don't know how many of you are programmers in here.
I barely know BASIC.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So just so I know how technical I should get on these. Yeah. So an important part of the program, I guess, is explicitly created via a goddamn Windows API call, explicitly as unsecured.
Wow.
Yeah, when they were writing that, they were like, "Oh yeah, don't just throw this out of the window." And to their credit, yes, as you might or might not know, cybersecurity became a subject of interest since around 2015, and I think the first major security flaw was in 2017 when WannaCry broke out. Yeah, it's an interesting story with WannaCry, but yeah, let's not go too far.
Right. Well, the answer to that question definitively is, yeah, it was a fucking massive security hole.
There is all over. I mean, I remember first thing when I brought up, hey, I am into security, let's talk security. Somebody sent a CVE of basically a list of vulnerabilities for Unreal until 2003. The errors are like, yeah, you can just get complete control of the computer, just by having the server running.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. We are working on that. We are not gonna give you something that's exploitable.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course.
Okay. And then I am just I'm the lead level designer.
Right on.
Yep. I just came into the project a bit early, and then picked up the mantle after somebody else had to step down. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of it. I know it's a little anticlimactic, but that is the short of it, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the responsibilities are, pretty massive, so.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of my efforts have been towards organization and that kind of stuff. A lot of my efforts have gone into organization, even to the point sometimes where I'm not able to spend probably as much time as I want to on on level design. But that's okay.
Yeah. It's being a lead's all
Things
about.
have been better. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and on the leading side, Atakan has been doing some great work, great representation during the interview that we had a few days ago, and good job keeping the morale high.
Thank you.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wholeheartedly welcome.
Love a team with high morale.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure, man. By the way, how did you like, or were you even in the stream when? Did you see the interview that the leads gave to the podcast?
Yeah, I did see that. I was very impressed by how eloquently and how passionately all three of them kind of made the case for Duke Nukem, both to themselves personally and to like the wider world, and outlined like their specific goals, what they intend to do with it. It was very energizing, and it was very like, fuck yeah, these are the people I want leading a Duke Nukem project of this scale.
That's as always great to hear, and yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed to find people that are also in love with Duke as a character, just as I am.
Yeah.
Not to make this the candy kind of in love.
No, but I mean, yeah, it's a mutual thing. That was actually honestly what kind of made that podcast so easy was that those dudes chatting with those guys, they were, at least the one guy was they were all very energetic to talk to us and excited to talk to us, but the one dude was super into Duke, and so like, answering his questions and I don't know, it's easy to be passionate about something you're passionate about. So.
Oh yeah,
comes naturally.
Yeah.
And even when what okay, so what I have seen, at least in the past time, even in our server, is that there is a general consensus when it comes to ideas. Like we don't really, there are only minor things that we might argue about, like have different opinions on, but generally we have a pretty solid consensus.
Yeah,
It's
we
awesome.
definitely all kind of have the same kind of. We definitely all have the same general sense of direction, and for the most part, things are calm.
Last thing we want is to become like a Yandere dev or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
For
Come
sure.
again, please.
Or George Persard.
Yeah, well, I
No,
I
I'm
was just
jealous.
talking about this. Sorry.
Nothing. Just a yandere dev joke. There's a
Okay.
classic. There's a classic yandere dev thing where he has it. It cum chalice.
God.
Hold on, look. Silence.
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking a few days ago. No, actually, it was when I first came into the project. Yeah, well, the chances of George Broussard's situation to happen again are pretty slim because there is no pressure. We kind of have like being a voluntary project, there is no real pressure to just focus on only one thing. And yeah, if we want to improve something else, like for example, I might want to look into how the shaders are processed, basically graphic stuff, I might just do that. So no,
Yeah.
plus we are a bigger team than 3D Realms, though somewhat less experienced.
And also not
Somebody
working full
said.
time.
Oh yeah, definitely. But that's also what keeps our yeah, it's an interesting situation, but the way I see it is, yeah, it's much more relaxed, and we can attack the situation from many more angles. And yeah, we are doing a better work like
Awesome.
this than yeah.
And also, I would assume that the council model that y'all have recently switched to also prevents the creation of a Broussard-like personality because there's multiple people there who have the power to say, no, we're not doing that. Like, no, we're not redoing this. This is good as is. We're locking this down.
Yep, and that's
Yeah, I
exactly
think
why we did that. Yep.
yeah, I think Otacon is more knowledgeable of this to answer this kind of stuff.
Yeah. That is exactly why we've kind of moved to this structure to try to prevent anyone from kind of feeling that, or not even from feeling, just preventing anybody from getting to that point. It's just, and the other thing is too is that it makes it. We're trying to convey the point that this not, I put a lot of time and do a lot of stuff for this, but it's not my project. It's my
No.
project in the sense that I work on it, but it's not my project. At the end of the day, like if something happens and I need to walk away from it, there are other people within the server, and there are the people within the dev group and within the council even that can just pick up where I left off. And so like it was, and further from there, it also like really conveys that, hey, like this is like a community effort, like
This is the product of many.
yeah, this is the product of many, and it's much easier to get input from teams and from people when we're working in a sense like this than as opposed to, I don't know. Yeah, this just felt more right. It felt more of the proper way to go about doing it at the end of the day, and I think in the way we've been able to produce content and the changes we've been able to do and the work we've been able to do in the following weeks and or I guess like month now, really, from changing that. I'm still really happy. Did we end up getting a demo out, quote unquote? No, but we were never going to get a demo out by August. So like,
Yeah. And it seems like the response to changing that model has been overall really positive. Like I think people understand why that model was chosen, why its benefits are apparent, and like how it will serve to make a better game overall.
Yeah, I think so too.
let's see. I know this is the super exciting stuff. Just watching me measure up a countertop now. But
that is game development. I mean, that's the nitty gritty, right?
yeah. Plus 32. Oh yeah, put it back to 512.
Has the team considered any of the old God, I'm mispronouncing the guy's name, Dan Panoisian's artwork, like with the ants and stuff, or is that like stuff that's probably not going to be used?
I think that's probably stuff that's not going to be used.
Okay.
I can't say for certain, but I don't think we've had any talks about the ants, the ant people.
Yeah.
The ant people are kind of cool in design, but I didn't really think about it until I watched Frame Raider has a video on the
yes,
the early stuff, and he points out that literally like the ant people just wave at Duke, and then Duke shoots
they
them
have
in the head
no
with
AI.
a railgun. Yeah,
yeah.
And so it's just a bunch of screenshots of Duke massacring all these ant people.
Yeah, not a good look for him. Yeah, shout outs to Frame Raider. That video is fantastic, and I can't wait for the next installment.
I need to change this to 6 and this to 64 in order to do what I want to do. Yeah.
Did you see LGR's review of DNF 2011?
Oh yeah, the super old one.
Yeah, it was actually July 2011.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That one and another YouTuber I really like, Errant Signal. They both did contemporary DNF reviews, and you can see them trying to rationalize why what's happening is happening. And like, not to say like they didn't enjoy the game or not. Like that's their own tastes, but like the way it's talked about, like, well, this, it's what we're gonna get, and yeah, like watching it nowadays, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, man. I mean, I watched LGR's video just yesterday. Again, perhaps. Pretty sure again. Yeah, anyway, but it was just like a new video, I mean. So the thing is, for me, the entire video was just like a hot take, man. Because
pretty much.
because it was the only good review of like a positive review of DNF 2K11. And I'm like, oh boy, aren't you a bold one?
Yeah. There were a couple reviews like that were like, no, this game's actually good, and it's like, come on, man.
Hold up a sec.
Yeah, like, come on.
There are parts of it that are good. It has the skeleton of a good game.
It does, yes.
Parts of it.
Yeah. Just like CV said in the 2001 build. Sorry?
Has a good shotgun.
Oh, well, the model at least, yeah, is pretty fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, oh yeah, right. CV in the 2000. Okay, so a few weeks ago when he talked about the 2001 build, CV11, maybe you've seen the video, did you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Otacon was talking even in the podcast about it.
Yeah, even the podcast went like, yeah, I watched it a couple times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so it was definitely you. Okay, so the idea was CV actually said that what Gearbox did was revive the shittiest version of DNF ever possibly imagined, and I can see why. Like, yeah, just as he said, the story didn't change very much.
Yeah.
There are some things that were taken out, interactions just forced on the player, and yeah, basically has the skeleton of at least decent game.
Totally, yeah. Like, also on top of that, like, there's elements in DNF 2011 story that make more sense now that we get the context of the 2001 build. Like, for example, like a friend of mine, Kinsey, who is a Doom modder, who did like a really big blog post on the leak, and he talks about how like it now makes sense the president's such a dick to Duke in 2011 because he is infected, he has been snatched. But without that context and with the entire snatcher element removed from the wider game, it's just president angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even know about the infection stuff. Maybe he had sex with a babe that was not clean.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like
what has happened?
Not to just sit here and shit on DNF 2011 because like people did work very hard to bring that to market. I mean, like I've heard stories of how difficult it was to get that thing in a shippable state. And to its credit, it is a very stable game. Like I played that game twice, I think. I've never had technical issues with it. It has worked 100% of the time doing what it does. And that is pretty fucking remarkable. Like, especially you looking at the source code, like, must have done, you know?
Yeah.
Like, wait, can you even get the source code for the 2011?
No. What I'm talking about is like, if we assume that they are still building the 2001 source code, right? Like over the decade, they're all still building off that same source code. It had to have been in a complete fucking disaster by the time they took possession of it in 2010, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
But the fact that they managed to get that game out on multiple platforms and it runs like without technical issues. I mean, yeah, the frame rate's awful, the load times are really bad on console, but like, man, that game should not run, period, you know? So
Yeah.
I will give Gearbox credit for that, for sure.
Oh yeah, by the way, now that you mentioned this, building upon old stuff, I think it's definitely something that happened because I was talking to somebody with much more experience in the project that actually got us out of some deep trouble when it came to the 3D drivers. And he told me, oh yeah, well, the thing is, DNF 2K1 and 11 are built on the same engine, Unreal Engine 1. Which, yeah, explains the graphics, doesn't explain how the game fucking, like, can you even double click on it without your PC turning into a square?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I would love to see 2011 source code because it just has to be a complete fucking nightmare. Like, imagine the dev comments, that thing, just screams of agony rendered into text format.
Poor guys. Yeah, that's one thing that I kind of one of the first things I kind of really that humbled me when working through all this stuff is that like I don't know if I'll ever call a game dev lazy again.
No, God, no.
Like
No.
there is so much work that goes into all of this and making it all like presentable and like feeling good about it, even like feeling to the point where you're comfortable enough with it. Like there's no doubt in my mind that like the stuff that gets pushed out and then we all feel kind of bad about and like none of us really care for it. I'm sure that the people who worked on that, who were forced to release a product that was probably not completely their vision, feel the same way.
No, absolutely. Like I'm friends with some game devs, and like, yeah, absolutely, it's like they are the harshest critics you will ever know. Like the worst review you will ever read for a bad game, the people who worked in that bad game will have even harsher reviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you wanted to say something more, Otacon?
No, yeah, it's just mostly that. Just like I said, it's just there's a lot. There's definitely a lot that goes into this, and like not even like maybe some of it's a little different because I don't work on this full time, but yeah. Oh, I got another
Oh
phone
yeah,
call here.
neither do I. I mean, for a few days I didn't even touch the source code.
Hmm.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is, yeah, game dev is not easy task. I
Ew.
dabbled in Unreal Engine 4 for a little while, and just trust me, man, it's if you just look at the source code to fire a shot and deliver damage, it's like, okay, you have many details that pop out of nowhere, like the instigator. You have to look into the documentation of all of that and understand what's going on, and then you have a chance of moving further. And one more thing, on the coder side slash programmer, what have you, you kind of have to have a good code design. You cannot have just something thrown around, because then you might end with something that gives you errors and you don't know what the hell is going on, or you might have some deep goddamn trouble when you want to just have it work, or B, expand on it, or C, even for the love of God, just debugging it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, thankfully, y'all don't have to worry about performance targets matching contemporary hardware. Because Jesus Christ, I could not imagine trying to finish this game and also have it run on contemporary hardware. Because that would be, I'd love to see someone try it, not this project.
Wait, to have basically 2001, 2002 computer run the game?
Yeah, like have it run the game well. You know what I mean?
What was that like? 386, 486, the CPU at the time?
2001, you would have had. I remember I had a Pentium 3. You'd probably have a mix of 3D effects cards and NVIDIA cards and ATI cards. You'd have dedicated sound cards still. Probably have about 256 megs of RAM max. Yeah, it's a huge limit, but interesting to see someone make the restoration project after it's finished, demake it so it fits on it. But as the project itself, its main target is not that hardware, but today's hardware. It's probably also a lot easier to just not to worry about like the memory budget and frame times and all that, because most computers can just chew through this thing no problem, right?
Oh yeah. Thing is, yeah, it was actually quite a shock. By the way, I got the from another member of the project. I have a link to the original Anon files download site, and the original build is 750 megabytes. Let's say perhaps 800 megabytes. And our build with HD textures, isn't it, Otacon? Liquid? Oh, maybe he's AFK. Yeah, if I remember correctly, we might actually for sure have full HD textures, and the size is not that much more. It's like 1.2, maximum 1.7 gigabytes, because I have an older pool of the repo. But yeah, it's definitely something that you download in your browser in like 10 minutes or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, probably gonna
gonna get wrapping up here pretty soon.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Right on.
It's
same.
been like 4 hours.
It sure has been.
Oh wow,
I
I
know there
would have
was a
liked.
decent break in there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just been a good time, though, honestly.
Yeah.
But Liquid, do we have the textures are full HD, 4K, or what? I don't remember.
The textures are 256 by 256. That is the highest resolution texture that we will have.
Oh, what? So everything looks so clean. I'm actually confused. You might have done some background, some backend magic with some stuff, some wizardry.
Yep, dude, there is like some weird wizardry because like let me save this real quick.
Yeah.
Open up my test range. I make this like test range. So we could just test like different weapon types and stuff. So if I go up to this wall, like this wall doesn't look very great right now. It looks okay.
No, you don't have your screen share. Oh, you are live on Twitch. Oh, just
Yeah,
give
I'm
me
live on
1
Twitch.
second.
Yep.
Just give me a second, please.
Yep, no worries.
Oh yeah, I see your screen now.
Okay, cool. So right now this is a pretty like plain looking like concrete wall, but if I get up really close to it, it's incredibly detailed. Like
Oh,
just
what?
obnoxiously detailed.
Oh yeah, there's those detail textures.
So
Yeah,
it's
looks
that
looks
is
like
the
a screen.
trickery I think that the engine is doing, where it's like this looks pretty basic, and then I get next to the brick wall, and oh yeah, okay, that looks like a brick wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking God, what is that? Like multi-texturing, I think is the name for it, and it just looks so goddamn good. I know Gold Source did some of that sometimes, and yeah, it looks so good.
I don't know, man. Is it maybe something like a normal map attached to the texture?
Yeah, so if I go into here and then I go into, there's actually a way you can go into the properties. I don't know if it's now showing this. Let's see. No, okay. Let me see if I can add it. Duke adds a Windows window. Yes, I can add it. Perfect.
Hey.
Now you can see this. We'll move it to like right here. Okay.
Oh, cool.
So you get this little texture box here, and so within here you can select the surface of it, and then you can do all kinds of stuff through here. And so I'm pretty sure this is how. This probably isn't a good example. Let me find that actual thing we were just looking at. I just don't remember what it's under.
Detail texture.
Right, that's where you select that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I was just trying to find the original texture. But yeah, that is where because these things, like that high resolution texture of the concrete wall, is just under T detail maybe. Yeah, T detail, and then one of these concrete textures. And so you would apply that to that so it looks like that far away, and then when you get up close, it has that kind of texture to it.
Wow.
Yeah, so from my limited knowledge on textures, it might be something like a normal map, but sounds like there might be more to it, like an LOD kind of texture that loads in at a specific distance. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good on textures, honestly. This is why I'm a programmer.
No, fair enough. I feel you. That's why I just build the levels. I feel you.
Oh,
I've worked on a couple textures, but only so much. I know Dez was being really, really dedicated one day and was going through and finding all the surface textures like this that didn't have stuff like that and was applying them so that things would have the proper sounds and proper look and stuff. Oh! Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to do before I get off, because saying that, I think I know how to fix this one issue in study. Sometimes you just say stuff out loud and then it jogs your memory. Okay.
oh yeah, yeah.
So when I
What's
walk
what's the
on the
what's the thing with study?
So in study here, actually I don't even know if this is the latest version of the map. Let me double check it. I got tagged in something. Oh. Something about Grand Theft
That's
Auto
why
4.
Cougars
Okay.
talk to rubber ducks.
Where is it? Episode 5, Curious Caller. Yeah, this should be it. Okay, so if we ghost over to here, into here, and I walk where the two of these textures meet, it makes a water sound.
Oh.
Huh.
That's oddly specific, but it's good to take care of that, I guess.
Well, Crispy noticed it and reported it as a bug, which is the only reason I even know about it.
Oh yeah, any ideas on how to make the minigame, the bypass minigame better? Because
No,
to me,
I still do not actually have a good idea to make the puzzles better. We definitely should look into other creative ways to do stuff though.
yeah, because I mean, for me personally, it's pretty annoying. It's a pretty annoying minigame.
A pipe dream minigame?
Sorry?
Yeah, the
pipe
pipe
dream
dream
minigame?
minigame, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I find it just a little bit difficult and annoying, but like I see people like pushing through it like all the time in like streams and stuff. So it's like I wonder if it's just someone must have trouble with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like first time I think I did like 5 times to bypass in Duke's cave or whatever. Because the one where there is the fire. Yeah, go on, please.
The fire one, yeah. It just moves way too fast for me.
Yeah, same.
That's something that could be
And
affected by difficulty.
well, I think it would be more frustrating than in any way engaging.
Yeah.
Because people would be like, "Oh yeah, fuck those fucking pipes" or something like that. Not be actually, "Oh yeah, you know what? I will do better because this is fun." No.
Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna make a map for 2001 that's just like pipe dream mini games because as they're a little bit on the annoying side. I do agree.
But where does the pipe dream name come from? Is the first time I hear it.
It's a game.
Yeah, arcade game. I want to say.
I don't know. The first time I played it was on the computer.
Is it a computer game?
Just give me a second, then I will Google it.
Yeah, 8-bit computer game. For the Amiga.
Well, hey guys,
It has been great chatting with y'all and showing some stuff off and answering some questions and stuff like that. I definitely think we're going to try to do more of these kinds of things in the future.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah, man! Just drop an announcement somewhere because I really want to get into these.
Yeah, they'll definitely be a little less impromptu than this was, but I was just kind of really feeling it when I woke up this morning. So,
Oh yeah, I understand you.
It's been really fun chatting.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Really enjoyed some of the conversation and topics and things we were able to explain and kind of go over today. I'll definitely be making a VOD of this and a cut of it for YouTube. All this was recorded, so yeah. Otherwise, take care, guys. Keep it easy, and thanks for tuning in today.
Oh yeah, take it easy, y'all.
Yeah, take it easy.
You too.